Alright, hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Phil. I'm the host of the NoGutsNoGalaxy podcast, bringing you some Macro Online. This is your sneak peek preview of this Civil War tech coming out tomorrow in July's patch. Like I say, welcome to everyone out there. Hopefully you're having a great day. If you'd like to help spread the word of the gospel that is mech porn, retweets are appreciated. Dropping that link in the chat. Like I say again, good afternoon. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. A lot to, I would say, go over and talk about today. Today's probably going to be a lengthy stream. Obviously, we're going to showcase the 4 new chassis coming out, and that includes the Cougar, the Uzil, the Madcat Mark II, and the Annihilator. We'll be going over those, checking out a few builds on them, showcasing a few things in training grounds, and of course, I want to showcase any changes that have happened since PTS and the Civil War tech. If you guys have any questions, again, I will get that going for you guys. But yeah, just want to say, how you doing? See a lot of familiar names in chat. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. First off, let's go ahead and clear the air here. I've been asked a lot, Phil, what are you most excited for as far as mechs? I'm not gonna lie, the Cougar and the Uzil, I like mediums. I think the Uzil is gonna be fun to pilot. The Cougar, there's a particular combo that I'm excited for, and I'll show you that. And then as far as what am I most excited about as far as new tech, I would say the biggest thing for me would be the LFEs, and those are light fusion engines. We'll just refer to them as light engines from here on out. I think it's going to open the door for a lot of IS chassis that need that survivability slash firepower and speed that they haven't been able to do before. So I do have Chris Lowry in chat. He is here. Are you in channel chat too? Can people bug you?
No, I'll join. Sorry, I'm.
Are you playing?
Are
you playing with Max right now?
No, I'm actually.
It's okay if you're playing with Max. No one's judging.
No, I'm in internal chat. Talk about some other stuff in the office right now.
Yeah, okay. And of course, like I say again, welcome to everyone out there. Almost 300 people here, so just a handful. Yeah, so, all right, we've got the 4 new chassis coming out. We're going to go ahead and dive into them first, and then we'll branch out to the actual Civil War tech. First off, aesthetically, I actually dig the Cougar. I've always digged the Cougar, especially since, like, Mech Commander. Anybody else? Just a huge fan of the Cougar since Mech Commander. The one thing I always thought was funny was that, like, that fan-looking thing on top of the Cougar. It doesn't have that on here. I'm digging it. It's a little bit slimmer than the Adder. It's got similar legs of the Adder and the Kit Fox. It's got a very similar walk cycle. You guys saw the animations as well. And then some of the mounts, obviously relatively high, except for the arms, which someone could say it's mid because cockpit level. But I definitely did dig the aesthetics here. I think it just looks really cool. The whole fighter pilot sort of cockpit, and of course, you do have the hero with this snake-like camo pattern. I know this was showcased here as well. And as you can see here, ballistic mounts quite high. That being said, one of the mechs I wanted to point out, the variants of the Cougar, was the Cougar H. And the reason why I feel like this is important is this right here. ECM. I think this is going to open the doors to a lot of builds. Be very sneaky, and this is one thing that it has over the Adder, and that is ECM. The Adder doesn't have this, so sneaky snake, as someone just put it. And so another thing too is torso mounted energy hardpoints. Well, just so happens we do have a variant with one each, and that is the Cougar E here. So you combine this with the ECM and the arms. And so let me go ahead and just take a quick look at this. I'm going to go ahead and strip the E torsos off here really quick and just sort of showcase what your maximum energy firepower you can get out of this. And that is with the Cougar H. One thing to note is the Cougar H torsos have jump jets. Removing them removes that capability. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do for science. All right, here, you could go 4 energy in the right arm, and of course the 1 energy in the left. Now, the reason I feel like this is actually pretty decent is because, again, ECM, you're able to fit, in this case, 7 if you wanted to, ER medium lasers. I don't know if you'd actually do something like that, but you can. Obviously right side heavy. You can also do medium pulse, but this is what it's capable of, and it still has 10 tons remaining after that. I think the biggest thing, oh wow, can you, oh, you can mount jump jets. I don't know if that's, is that, oh my.
What's that?
You can mount jump jets on this. So it's acting like it's a,
Uh-oh.
yeah. Bug number 1. Double heat sinks, put a bunch of doubles on here. And this is what I was thinking about doing. Even if you drop the left arm and you don't go 7, and you just go 6, just use this. That's what I was thinking. Throw on a target mark. Anyways, to me, the reason why this is important is because when you compare it directly to the adder, why did you say something, Phil? Right? When you directly compare it to the adder, it has very similar hard points, right? But the difference is that ECM capability and ninja capability with adder doesn't have. You also have a max missile count of 4, and that again can include the ECM module. So again, now the adder, where it can do the I think I'm gonna have to strip, yeah, I'll have to strip the other ones off here. 1 second, we'll do the E2. Should just left the E together. We'll just strip it. You can do 4 SRM6s, I think, with art and ECM. Again, comparing it to the adder, it's something that the adder can't do with that ECM module. So now you've got sneaky Cougar. All right, just 1 second. Let me just confirm here. Grab these arms. Let me go show you guys too. I was going to showcase the locations as well. So just tossing this out here, you can do SRM6s and even with art as well. Notice too, drop down boxes have been changed. I do believe this is a new thing too. Right here, so you can just click art and then drag, drop. There you go. So with 4 SRM6s with art, you still have plenty of tonnage for ammo. So with that being said, this is where the mounts are. And of course the mounts for the energy as well. I just showcase those in the torso. They are high mounts. I'll put a PPC just because. Oh yeah. It's the Cougar with horns, lightning horns. Looks like a chameleon with the horns there. So there's that as well. And of course, if you do a ballistic hardpoint in the, let's see, I think, yeah, we'll have to strip this from, oh, we'll just head over to this one. Ballistic hardpoint. What sounds good? Again, you are limited here because of the fixed armor, double heat sinks in the clan. You can't put an LB20. You can fit a UAC-10 though, with 1 slot, as well as an LB-10 if you want. You can't do Gauss or Ultra, but here's the mount for that. Again, quite high. You can do dual 5s on this. You have some tonnage left over, and then you could strip the arms for tonnage as well. And again, tossing this out here, the ECM hardpoint I think is going to be a go-to for this, just sort of like the Shadowcat or the Hellbringer, anything with ECM. And now you are sacrificing potentially a energy hardpoint in the head location, so there is that as well. But like you guys, most of the time that's going to be overlooked by the ninja capability of ECM. So pretty powerful hardpoints. So if you're on the edge about the Cougar, or you're like, if you didn't see those hardpoints, I actually think it's going to be a solid platform for that. You can also do with the H, or any of them, you could also do left-right torso energy with dual large pulse with a backup of smalls. We've seen that being used quite a bit. Again, we do have a few new weapons as well. Heavy lasers here, weighing in at 4 tons. We do have that. Now, they do take up more crit space. That is probably the drawback, because you're going to run out of crit space with this mech. And so you have to utilize as much tonnage as possible, because right now you have 11 tons, you're not fitting. Yeah, so even if we switch over to do this, and you double up and you do, let's just say medium pulse, or something to that effect. Something like that. So there are plenty of options. What's the max ballistics? I do believe we can figure that out really quick. And again, if you need any information, all this is over on the website. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So max of 4 ballistic. Like most 35 tonners, albeit the Adder and Cougar are sort of in the same boat, you can actually do some stuff with an a ballistic. Doggo. All right, so one thing to note, you can't fit an LB20 or an AC20. You can fit a UAC20 on this as well. And if you toss in those energy hardpoints that I was talking about earlier, you can do a UAC20 with a backup of... Now, keep in mind, on the hotel here, you do have jump jet capability and ECM. Is that your BAP going off? Yes, that was totally my BAP going off. So you can leave those jump jets on, or at least remove one. It really depends on what your needs or wants are, but if you do want jump jet capability, you have to leave those on there. So even if you're doing something similar to a Cougar, or an Adder in this case, you could do a backup of ER smalls, or heavy small laser, heavy mediums. Really, the sky's the limit. Civil War Tech definitely opens the gate. So you could technically do 6 ER smalls right here, or 6 heavy smalls. And then just fill it up with ammo. Again, you'd have to play with it. That's gonna be running really hot. So anyways, you can do it. Also, ballistic in the arm. That's where it's mounted. Keep in mind, this is a relatively low mount for the ballistic in the arm. So the best ballistic as far as mounts would be in the right torso, and that is with the hero. You would want to be able to see your target before you fire at it. So anything below the horizon or anything in front of you, you're going to be hitting the dirt. So that's also another reason probably why to keep the jump jets. Well, so the Cougar and the Adder, very comparable. But this thing right here, this little piece of equipment, I think sets the Cougar apart. Just this one hard point right here gives it something that the Adder does not have. And that, to me, puts us on the interesting factor.
One thing to keep in mind as well about the Cougar is the quirks on it. Even the side torsos that don't have any hard points actually come with some fairly generous armor hard points, as well as some offensive capabilities, and I think some mobility capabilities as well.
All right. If you guys have any questions about the Cougar, we'll go ahead and let it run. It looks like Darren is doing a giveaway. Let me read up here, make sure I'm reading it correctly. All right, he says, thanks for joining up Civil War preview stream. We'll be doing a few giveaways today, which will be our Civil War standard pack of your choice. To be eligible, you must follow the channel. Type in hashtag Civil War, all lowercase, in chat right now, and good luck, Mech Warriors. So there you guys go, hashtag Civil War, and he will be giving that away. Will the Adder be used anymore with the Cougar? I don't know. That's we'll have to look to see what it does better than the Cougar.
They do different things. They're very similar, but the Adder is going to be a bit faster and kind of more generally well armored The Cougar is going to be much more kind of weapon boat focused.
All right, and of course, let's go ahead and check out Camos because that's important, yo. Let's do. I want to see what this one looks like. Oh, I like it. That's pretty cool. Snake. That's a nice looking one right there. And that's Franken.
Good morning, Mech Warriors.
So he did join us.
Yeah. I'm still doing stuff in the background, similar to Chris. But yeah, I wanted to say hi.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, patch weeks are always busy for Darren and myself.
Crazy busy, but fun.
I'm being rated in person. Hey.
Are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Aww.
Yeah. No, I just put her up because Brownie barking.
Wife aggro.
I did. I just got wife aggroed. All right. You guys have seen most of these. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in chat. You can tag me at NGNGTV, and I will do my best. To answer those for you. One thing to note too, from a side perspective, pretty slim, especially the legs. From a front torso expected, you know, obviously wider.
Dude, all I know is I kicked ass in Solaris in MechWarrior 4 Mercs with my Cougar.
Is that right?
I love the Cougar, and it's for my light mech. Loved it.
I want to see how Sherman looks. Go. Oh, okay. A little bit darker on this brown though.
Although, Wuxian, I'm definitely not saying that I'm going to do well in the Cougar in MWO.
So you're going to say you're going to be doing Solaris, the 1v1s, and what are you?
Well, you know what? Over the weekend, I did do 1v1 for the CWX tournament. I got destroyed by password 1234.
Yeah.
But it was fun nonetheless. But yeah, lights obviously aren't my thing. I'm not good at taking advantage of maneuverability like you are, Phil.
I'm just saying. Fire everything does give you some, you know.
The Cougar plays more like a medium anyways with the payloads it can bring.
I was going to say, I mean, that's sort of like the Adder and Kit Fox anyways. I mean, you know, when they first came out, everyone, oh, it can't do what the other lights are doing. But they're meant to be hitting heavier above their, you know, weight class. They're just not as fast and agile as the ones.
You guys are saying Darren loves Cougars. Yes, I do, because typically these days they're younger than me.
That's funny.
Right?
So this is the Cougar. I'm really excited. Again, going back, if you're just now tuning in, one of the biggest things for this is it has plenty of hard points. And then, of course, the Cougar H and the Cougar E side torsos and the Cougar H head ECM module. I really do think it will be the go-to omnipod, just like the Hellbringer Prime A left torso, Shadowcat as well. It has 4 ballistics max, 4 missile max, so I don't think you're really gonna do, like, I don't think you're gonna do a heavy machine gun build, because 4 heavy machine guns, it's not gonna bring anything to you. Maybe, just maybe a backup, but I just don't see that being what you'd focus on. I think you'd focus on energy and missile with this platform. Or you do 1 heavy ballistic. Again, going back to the right torso ballistic, the problem you run into is crit slots there. You can only fit like a UAC 10, you can't do a 20. You can do a 20 in the arms, but just like the Adder, you do a UAC 20 and then you're done. Now the Adder can do an LB 20 in the arms because it doesn't have the clan double heat sink locked. So that is actually, again, going back to payloads, the Adder will be able to do stuff the Cougar can't, but I'm looking forward to it. It's nostalgic. It looks cool. I remember seeing the previews, Alex, internally, and I was intrigued because, of course, for me, not only MechWarrior 4, Darren, but Mech Commander.
You go further back?
Mech Commander. Mech Commander. Yeah, Mech Commander, to me, the Cougar was just, you know. Now that Monster, now they're got it, huge quirks for armor. Starwolf was the list to get some quirks too. All I'm gonna say is this: it's a scary day when people are asking for quirks for Direwolf. What's next? You know.
We'll have to see how it stacks up against the Direwolf first.
Hey, before I don't know what stage you're at, Phil, but before you do move on to another mech or anything like that, they want to check out the cockpit. We'll throw some cockpit items in there and then drop into a map.
Whoa. No, we can go in. We're talking about. You can see the cockpit right here.
Yeah, but it would be good to throw some cockpit items in there and then jump into a map so you can see it live and kind of look around.
It's a mini Annihilator. Walking. Anybody know about this? Do they have a Cougar? Cougar walk.
I think they should.
Anybody see this? The Cougar's walking in your cockpit. I heard you like Cougars, so I put a Cougar in your Cougar.
And then you can actually get a mini cockpit item for that cockpit item, and it goes on for eternity.
All right, then.
The hanging item is there's a clan version and a inner sphere version.
Tell me what they are, Mama Bear. Tell me what they are.
Down towards the bottom. I forgot what it's called, but you'll see it's pretty different. Bandit. Oh, you. Go up a little.
Different. I'm looking for different.
Not saying it, but yeah, I know. Keep going.
What's the name? Hold on. Let's go and look. Okay, that's the early adopter stuff. We'll have to check out the decals. Those are actually funny. Go ask Matt.
I wonder if you didn't get them injected.
Let's do Krampus. No. Let me go to the mounted. Does this have a war horn?
Yeah, there's a again,
magnetic flame version.
Yes, that's it. So why didn't you get the hanging item? That's
I was not expecting that. I was like, what is this gonna do?
No, neither was I when I first tried it.
Hold on, let me see if I can find this.
I feel like you should have it since you have those two. It almost looks like a baby. There it is. Hologram something.
Oh.
It was up. Yeah. Bam! We found it.
Inconspicuous. I was like, what are you talking about? It's like a chandelier.
Well, I was going to say like a baby, mobile, whatever you call them, hanging above the crib. But my crib is in a mech cockpit.
You know, I'm gonna go ahead and say I think the coolest thing is the walking.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think
absolutely do.
That's pretty cool. So
let's jump on a map and see what what it all looks like live, and I'll do this giveaway.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Bandit, yes, there is an IS version of the Warhorn as well. We'll get there next.
Steps, baby steps, Bandit. You can't just anticipation, man. It's good for a relationship.
Baby steps. So let's give this away. The first Civil War standard pack of your choice. The winner is Galtar.
Gultar. It's Gultar.
For your participation, get back to me with it. Oh, there you are. You're here. Okay, Galt. I'm gonna whisper you. You whispering me back.
Dude, it's walking in my cockpit. That's not distracting.
That's badass, huh?
That is cool. All right, let's kill something really quick. So Chris, I've got a UAC 5 on my mech. I think this maybe there's some patch notes that talk about the UACs and a fix. You want to go and talk about that, or?
I wasn't the one who implemented the fix, but supposedly there's a fix now to a bug that was reported that if you just hold down the UX and continuously fired, some people were encountering that you would eventually jam the weapon, and apparently that has been addressed now. If you double tap it, you'll still jam though.
Target acquired.
And obviously we're hearing and seeing the heavy medium lasers. So obviously I just double tapped there and I jammed. Also, we'll get into racks later, but that heat bug is fixed.
Heat level critical.
All right, Galtar is a proud owner of an Annihilator standard pack. Congratulations, that is in your account now. You will have it tomorrow when the patch goes live.
Nice, man. And of course, ooh, I like the jump jets.
Fuel at 25%. Fuel at 0%.
The little things. Here you guys go again. Very similar to the Adder and the Kit Fox. Well, I'm gonna say those Warhorns are pretty big. Where's it?
Guys, the next giveaway isn't going yet. I appreciate the enthusiasm. Just give me a second.
Target acquired. Fuel at 25%.
We'll hop out here so you guys can see it.
Shatter, yeah, the Zeal and the Cougar and the Annihilator and the Madcat Mark II all coming out tomorrow, as well as all the new Civil War tech, new weapons, new engines, all kinds of goodies. Tomorrow. It's going to be a hell of a day. We have well over 500 people. Thank you for joining us on this Monday. Hope you all had a good weekend. We're obviously very excited about the patch tomorrow. One of the biggest patches in MWO in quite some time.
I would say it's the biggest patch since Clan Invasion.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, as far as introducing new stuff, it's gonna be pretty crazy.
So again, just as you guys can see, Cockpit here. I do have the field of view at stock. I know I don't play like this. I usually play with 85 to 90. This is what it looks like.
Shooter McGavin asks, is the new tech going to be available in the supply cache? That's a good question, and I'm going to ask right now.
This reminds me almost of a very small direwolf cockpit. The roundedness of it right here. I don't know. Is that just me? But yeah, so coming to you tomorrow. And again, going back to stock field of view. And yes, that is a walking Cougar you see. There is Annihilator, I think probably Zeal as well, and Mark II. That is pretty cool. All right, let's go back, hop into the Mech Lab. Any other, while we're here, again, ask questions. If you have questions about...
I have a question for Chris.
Sure.
I know you are a BattleTech geek to the core. So can you give me a good hashtag for that's Civil War related for the next giveaway? Something lore based. Operation Bulldog, maybe? I don't know.
About Katrina can die in a ball of fire?
Chris, by the way, Chris,
I went and... Is that too soon? Okay.
Yeah. When I went and met with RJ Base, Chris was there as well. And he showed me pictures of his BattleTech collection, of which I was extremely freaking jealous. All the things that I threw away, he saved. including his battle droids box, which is what stabs me in the heart the most. I'm glad you have it.
Hashtag Katrina died in a ball of
Yeah, it's
fire.
still in good condition too.
I know, it kills me, man. I was such an idiot when I was younger.
I need to bring up my big. I have pretty much still one of the actual stand-up Uziel from an electronics boutique that was around when MechWarrior 4 came out. I actually was able to acquire pretty much. Well, you saw the picture of it. That was on what was on top of
I didn't see
my collection.
Did I? Maybe I just saw it, but didn't make.
You were just goggling, or you
it
were
was
just
that battle
ogling the
droids,
battle
dude.
droids
Like,
and
yes.
the Warhammer.
You don't understand. Like, I will kill for a battle droids box. Just warning you all, if you have one and I'm at your place, sleep with one eye open.
All right, let's go hop back in here and move on to the next one. That is the Cougar. Again, really excited about, just to recap, the Cougar has an Omnipod in the H variant head, ECM capable. It's got high energy mounts on the left, right torso, only one each, but that's enough, especially on a 35 ton. You can do dual large poles. You can do pretty much anything the Adder can do except for the Ballistics. The Adder can pull off some ballistic combos that it can't. Again, head mounted ECM, the high mounts for energy right here. And of course you can do 4 missile, 4 ballistic, and then at total, if you ditched the ECM, you technically could do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 energy, technically. So there's that as well. So, and of course we do have, for clan side, the heavy lasers are introduced, as well as light tag and the new heavy machine guns and light machine guns as well. So there is that.
So Darren, I have your contest at hashtag.
Oh, do you? Okay, give it to me.
Hashtag First Lord Sun Tzu.
I think I can spell that correctly. Okay, give me a sec.
How about just Sun Tzu? Ooh.
That's not First Lord Sun Tzu.
Look at this.
Is it S-U-N-T? Wait, how do you spell it?
Math. Let me see here.
I think it's SUNTZU.
Is that correct, chat? Is it?
Yes, TZ.
Yeah,
They're
okay.
going off.
Okay. It hasn't started yet, chat.
Oh my god.
It's a
Wait
robot.
for Darren to actually start the giveaway, please.
I
They're
mean,
anxious. Hey, I don't blame him. I want these mechs.
hey, would you like free stuff? I mean, would you wait?
No.
I mean, I don't blame him. All right, so let's talk about the Uziel. I think.
But before you do that, real quick.
Are you doing this first?
There you go. If you want to enter for the next drawing for a standard pack of your choice, Civil War standard pack of your choice, hashtag First Lord Sun Tzu right now. Thank you for the giveaway code there, Chris.
I think.
No worries.
I think one thing that we can all agree is the sort of iconic nature from MechWarrior 4. Okay, so for those that don't know, this was actually a mech created by Microsoft Games, along with a handful of others that was introduced to canon. So they designed this, and it was sort of a iconic one that a lot of people, including I'm sure a lot of people out in chat, are super excited for. Again, aesthetically, I think he did a great job. I think I know there's been a few critiques. I'm not gonna lie, I sort of dig this slim leg, slim arm profile. I think it fits in this context. I think because of that, when it's running at you and gunning, or if it's jumping in the air, to disarm it won't be as easy. Yeah, that's just me. What are you guys' thoughts? Love, hate?
First,
Adore?
Vidarian, if you already have collector's packs or whatever, don't have heroes or don't have the upgrades, I can work with you. So if that's the situation that arises, I'll deal with it. Otherwise, you can give it away or something like that. But as far as this mech, I think Alex did a beautiful job. It looks badass. Is it exactly like it was in MW4? No, but I'm fine with that. It's Alex Iglesias' take on these mechs, and I think he did a wonderful job. I personally have no complaints. I have seen what people are critiquing, but you know what? No matter how it was created or designed, obviously it's not going to please everybody. I think it's sexy. I wish I was better at mediums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just need a fire everything button on them.
And even though it was created for, by Microsoft or whatever, I think it fits in super well with the lore and the look of the mechs in this game. And it always has been one of my favorite mediums. It's just a fun looking mech and fun mech to play.
So of course, none of these have ECM. I just wanted to point that out. They all have a max engine of 390, except for the 6P, which has a 325. So all of them 390 except one. That was also the one with the most energy slots, I do believe, with 6. Before I talk out my ass here, yes. So as far as energy slots, it is the best. Of course, this is a battle mech, not an omni mech. So again, going back to hardpoints, relatively high hardpoints on the 6P in the left-right torso. First thing that pops in my mind is why have the PPCs in the arms when you put them in the torso. I have a feeling that's going to happen. But the 2S, this is the iconic one known. Now this is interesting because it has dual ballistic, or one ballistic in each torso, and of course the energy in the arms as well. We have a lot of new tech coming on field here, guys, tomorrow for IS. We have the LBs, we have the other UACs, we have the rotary autocannons, we have light Gauss, heavy Gauss, light machine guns, heavy machine guns, ER smalls, all the heavy PPC, light PPC, snub-nose PPC, yes, all of them. We also have MRMs and rockets and the other streaks as well. We'll again be going over a few of those options as we roll forward here in the stream. Again, this is going to be a long stream because we have a lot to cover. Some things to note. I remember playing the Uzil with dual light Gauss and I think dual light PPC in MechWarrior 4. I think that's what I did because shenanigans. Now, would this be a proponent for light engines? I think no. In this case, if you were to do it, I think you'd have to pull some, maybe it was dual light.
Mighty Bolamite
just dual light
says
Gauss, I think.
Uziel is responsible for getting me into this whole universe. Well, then thank God for the Uziel.
Right? As you can see, ballistic mount's quite high. What's interesting about this too is because you do have high mounts on that with a backup of energy, you can do stuff like an AC-20 and a UAC-20 if you really wanted. And on top of this, guys, not only can you have a UAC-20 or an AC-20.
Is this going to be a new BAM?
No, but my point being is, look, this is one thing that IS mechs have needed forever. I'm going to showcase this right now.
Showcase the hell out of it, dude.
Watch this. Light engine. Now we have the survivability with a left-right torso blowout. And you have this high mount of an AC-20 with backup if you wanted. And again, this is going to be a big thing for the IS mechs. Is the ability to lose a torso while maintaining a good power as far as a firepower ratio compared to like standard engines. A lot of IS mechs have always had to, sort of struggle with that sort of, I take a standard for survivability, but because I do so, I'm slower, which means I'm more vulnerable or I can't pack as much firepower. Oh, I want a lot of firepower. I'm taking an XL. Now I'm giving up that survivability. Now with this light engine, it does change things. Some builds that you might see out here on the Uzil, you might see 2 heavy PPCs being used. That would probably, depending on the quirks as well. Let me go ahead and reset this. I think the 6P would be a good measure for that, just because the high mounts. And again, going back here, you could do heavy PPCs in the torsos. Again, you can see very high mounts. I mean, that's if not higher than like the Hunchback 2C A's, Cockpit 2 torso mounts. And because of also this, you could throw on a light engine or even an XL, but a light as well. One thing to note too that we just got is, yes, we have ferro fibrous armor like normal, but we also have light ferro. That's going to come in where previously you didn't have enough crits to put on ferro, but you had too many crits, but there was a bunch of leftover space. Light ferro will come into play. You don't get as much weight savings from it, but on some of these cases, an extra half a ton could bump up your engine, another half ton of ammo, something like that. That is available to everyone out there. So,
Chris, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Got a question from chat. And if you're not able to answer, that's fine. Just let me know. Heavy Gauss and the LBX-20 are 11 crits. Can you ask Chris if this is locked, or is PGI going to gather more data on both before making a decision on the matter?
I mean, we're going to be releasing it as it is. There's obviously some design concerns in regards to lowering them, including some stuff like I know that, for example, heavy gauze was never supposed to be included in any kind of slot outside the torsos. So, I mean, this is pretty much just how we're releasing it. We'll look over feedback and examine where things are, but and make decisions accordingly. But
Gotcha.
I can't guarantee anything.
So we've got a few options here. Again, you can go snub-nose PPCs instead of the heavies. You could do some heavy machine guns as well with these setups. Again, snub-nose, for those that don't know, has no minimum range. So it's just straight up damage from all the way out till it's optimal and then max range as well. Let's see what else. Obviously, you can do heavy Gauss on this with a few rounds of backup here. You can pretty much do it on. It has to be I think the 2S for the ballistic. But you can't do it on the arm because it requires that. So you can do a heavy Gauss rifle on this, but it eats up so much that that's pretty much all you're doing, plus engine. All these are jump capable as well, so that's something to keep in mind. The 6P, again, going back to, I think it'd be a good case to do ERs. You can do 6 ER mediums, 6 medium lasers, 6 medium pulse. I think would be running potentially a little bit too much. We'll see here. Good, again, do all these setups. Again, much science to be done. I'm just tossing stuff out here, not giving the exacts. This does have a smaller engine cap than the others, so keep that in mind as well.
Now, mediums are obviously, you know, one of your specialties, Phil. How do you anticipate using the Uziel? For your play style?
Off the top of my head, I would probably, at least with this variant, I'd probably stick to the 6 ER mediums, if not just regular 6 mediums. Go with like an LFE. I could see ERs being used. I think medium pulse would be too hot. How could I see it being used? I think it's too early to tell. I don't know. I don't know if it'd be like, I can give you a, like direct answer. Cicada, right? Striker 2B, get in, do as much damage, right? Blah blah blah. 2A, be that sort of skirmisher where I can use the range and stuff like that. I just don't know. For these, you do have missile hardpoints, some of which are limited because of the location. For instance, on the 3S or any of them with the CT missile, you only have 2 crits to work with. So I don't think you're going to see anything dramatic happen there as far as missile. If I'm correct here, yeah, we have 2 missile on this. This would be the one that you would see MRMs or SRMs. I think SRMs would probably be the... you've got 2 ballistics. You could do 2 heavy machine guns, 2 SRM6 with Artemis, backup of like 2 energy or something like that. I think you'd actually have a lot more tonnage left over. And you have 2 missile on the hero as well, same location. So that actually... This sort of reminds me of the Hunchback 4SP, but obviously without the survivability, you don't have all those structure armor quirks. I do like the way this one looks with those 4 light PPCs though. That is pretty cool. Speaking of which, let me go ahead and check out aesthetically what missiles look like on the torso. Let's go ahead and do LRM-20 on one side and MRM-40 on the other. To give you guys a showcase here, you can see how much tube count. So it does look like it's limited to a 20 tube count. So MRM-40, in this case, how about SRM-6? Just so you guys can sort of see where they're located. Definitely high mounts.
The tube counts don't really matter for MRMs because of the stream fire.
Okay. Of course, rocket launchers as well.
Oh man, tomorrow's going to be crazy. So we have 600 people in chat. Just want to say again, thank you all for being here and sharing your Monday with us. Tomorrow's going to be amazing patch day, all kinds of new mechs, new tech. It's going to be quite exciting. Did get an answer or response back regarding the supply caches. Initially, at least to start, the new technology will not be in them, as far as the person was able to tell me, getting back to me. But hopefully, as soon as possible, we'll be getting them in there. So save your C-bills, folks, because there's going to be a lot to buy tomorrow.
All right, so someone was asking me about top speed in the Uzil, and this is one thing. It's 126.4, but if we do speed tweak, let me go ahead and do this really quick for you, just so we can give you a better 100% concrete answer on that. Give you a exact number here. So with speed tweak, we would be doing 135.8 kph.
Zoom, zoom.
Yeah.
And then, of course, paint it red.
The 6P, though, is limited a little bit slower. It's got a 325. And, of course, if we take a look at here... Actually, again, I think the 6P would be interesting just from an LFE standpoint. I think it fits. You can do an LFE, 6 ER mediums. And I think you're coming out on top there. Especially, let's see, standard, Indo. Let's see, 2 jump jets. Doubles here.
Sunstruck
armor.
asks, why do the rocket launchers do over 30 damage when in the tabletop they're supposed to do just 20? I'm going to give a quick answer, and Chris can, of course, correct me if I'm wrong, but the main reason is because tabletop does not translate directly to a video game, and the numbers that you're seeing here are to balance it for a video game.
Well, more specifically, also, within the context of MWO, the armor and the structure has been doubled, and because we retained the one-shot nature of the rocket launchers, basically having them at cannon values while we doubled up on the structure and the armor would mean that they would be effectively half as effective within the context of our game as it would have been in tabletop, so we've upped the damage on them.
So with the 6P, again with 6 ER mediums, max engine 325, speed tweak, you go 113 kph. So obviously the others are significantly capable of going faster. A note, obviously, like someone just said, again, we do have light Pharaoh. So whereas before, you know, I had these heat sinks out here. Now the reason being is I didn't have enough crit space. I'm 70 out of 78, which means there was no point for me even thinking about Pharaoh. Now though, I can at least do light Pharaoh. I can free up, now it's 0.4 tons. Hey, that's 0.4 tons I didn't have before. That means it could be potentially another heat sink if I strip some armor away from other locations. I mean, another jump jet by reducing. There's a few different options that you have here. So that's actually really cool that we haven't had before. So make sure to, of course, take a look at that. But yeah, so let's see, what else do we got going on? Is there any other...
Hashtag First Lord Sun Tzu. Right now we'll be doing the giveaway as soon as Phil jumps into a map to check out the cockpit. Coming up shortly.
Let me take a look. If I was to do this Uzil right here, I think I might keep the light peeps. Yeah, drop a heavy. I think the light peeps would be interesting. Double light, max engine potentially, or at least up there. I don't know if I'd take XL or LFE. I have to see here. I think you could get away with a few things. Also, keep in mind we do have target Mark 1s as well, and all the way through Mark 8s. So these did change recently. Beam range boost, projectile speed critical chance, target time boost, sensor range boost, and of course all those do stack with your skills, whatever you put into your...
Chris?
Yep.
Again, of course, if you can't answer, please feel free to say so, but somebody's asking about why are there lower arm actuators in the Uziel?
Because by lore, that's what they have.
So sometimes we go with the lore when when it works out, and sometimes we don't when it doesn't work out, and that's balancing a video game for you.
Okay, so as far as the mech loadouts go, we try to stick to essentially the canon loadouts whenever possible. Sometimes we do change them around, like for example, the King Crab is also supposed to have lower arm actuators and hand actuators, but given the context of our game, sometimes we have to basically shift things around, you know, based on how we're interpreting the mechs. But whenever possible, we do try to keep those kind of lore-based configurations as much as possible.
Alright, you were saying check out the cockpit items, and again we're going to go down here. For those that haven't seen the new... Those are pretty cool. Like, a part of me now wants that for like the Timby or Cicada. I'm jealous. Just
Guardian 2000 asks, can you ask about the decreased energy weapon damage from tabletop in comparison to the rocket damage increase due to armor and structure increase? Guardian, again, I'm going to give my answer, even though I'm not a balanced person, and then Chris can correct me if I'm wrong. But again, it's in regards to game balance. The rocket launchers are a one-shot weapon, and whereas obviously energy weapons aren't, and it's all just about balancing for the game. If something balance is off, and they see that the balance is off, obviously things can get modified and changed, and will. Chris?
One second. Yeah, hold on. Hold that thought.
Hold your thought, Chris. Hold it tight.
One more time. Hold it. I like that. I think I like that better than the clan one.
Yeah, I like the IS version as well. Chris, go.
So the main reason we've boosted them to kind of give comparable damage to the tabletop values for the rocket launchers entirely is because it's a one-shot weapon. And so by basically having the value, as far as the effective value, by keeping the cannon values because of our double structure and double armor, it would have essentially halved the power output of that weapon entirely, because you really only have one shot to use it. Whereas pretty much all the other weapons in the game, because they have cooldown, because they have ammo and various other things, they can essentially refresh and pretty much continue to do that damage outward. So it comes down to just, you know, how we structure the game. We gave the rocket launchers a boost specifically because of their one-shot nature, relevant to all the other changes that we've made to the game.
Sorry, I'm just playing with my decals. Don't mind me. Not like I'm a grown-ass man or anything. I don't know.
Playing with your Cougar?
No.
Is Belial.
By the way, guys, I'll obviously try and get as many of the questions done as I can, but doing multiple things at the same time. Not ignoring you.
Yeah, same here.
It's totally ignoring you.
All right, maybe one of you, and you know who you are.
All right, let's go to hop into training grounds. Again, just showcasing. If you guys have any questions, again, feel free to tag me at NGNGTV. I'll do my best. Again, this is Civil War Tech coming out. Lots of questions, I know, guys. As far as, I'm going to make a comment about any type of little balancing. Don't get caught up on little, you know, differences between tabletop or what's this supposed to do versus that versus tabletop. Again, I think Darren and Chris have basically said they're just on it. We've said this for years. Sometimes things have to change and adapt. Adapt or die, as they always say. But this is Civil War Tech. We've already gone over the Cougar. If you missed it earlier, don't worry. but this will be up on our YouTube. We're on to the Ozil. Again, a classic from MechWarrior 4 that was introduced. What you're looking at right now is the hero variant. We have others as well, so make sure to check those out. All jump jet capable. All have a 390 except the 6P, which is a max of a 325. Energy, ballistic, there are a few with double missile, including the hero, but also another one right here before I speak. Again, the 5P, MRMs, I could see being used, and SRMs as well. Let's go ahead and see how this thing runs, guns, and shoot. I haven't done any skills, but I don't think that's needed for this demonstration purpose.
Look at those little PPCs, man. I love them. Okay, here we go, guys. As I said, since he's jumping in, we're going to check out the cockpit live. It is time to do the giveaway. So the winner of another standard Civil War pack of your choice is Skyros009.
Nice, man.
Let me know you're there. You got 60 seconds to claim your prize, Skyros.
All right, so first things first, cockpit. I'm digging it, wide and open. I got plenty of view. I always compare it to like the Shadowhawk, where you're very cramped and confined. This doesn't feel like that. You've got plenty of view and angle. This is standard field of view. Again, bumping it out here to, let's just do 90 for sake, so people can see what 90 looks like. Plenty of room. This actually reminds me sort of like a cicada. Wide open across the board. Going back here. All right, so first things first. Again, I'm jealous about the cockpit items, guys. We're gonna need to make some better ones for like my Timby and Cicada.
Real quick, Skyros, I whispered to you, let me know what your pilot name is and which Civil War mech you would like. And also, as far as the heavy lasers and the color, I kind of agree with you guys on that. I've heard a lot of people talking about that. I will bring it up at some point. They are the color they are now. That has nothing to do with Chris or balance or anything like that, so that's why I'm not asking him. But I will bring it up. I'd like to see some purple lasers or whatever. Yeah, hopefully that question won't keep coming up, but I agree. Go ahead, Phil.
I like that war horn. I'm gonna totally cheese that on it. I like it. It sounds cool. Yeah. I'm always surprised, like sometimes the little things, like the K9.
Target acquired.
You guys want to see how this looks? Let's do some.
Chris, since we have IS targeting computers, is something going to be done to make command consoles more viable?
Not right this second. Yeah, it's on my radar. Like I know that people brought it up in the past, but it's just one of those things where the primary kind of I'd say the primary focus of balance right now still remains on IS versus clan balance for right now. And once we get that in a good spot, it'll open ourselves up to explore other things that I know a lot of people have been asking about. But until that time, it still remains focused on the IS versus clan balance.
So can I go ahead and say, you know, with the targeting computers and command console, you would be wanting to introduce a new system, which new system means dev time, and you know, and so the current functionality of command consoles, people don't use them. So again, to change all that would require more time on target. So,
and I was just made aware that the art department is aware of the feedback in regards to laser colors. So there you go. Be doing another giveaway shortly here, guys.
Sorry, I'm just shooting PPCs while this actually runs relatively cool. Now, light PPCs. It's an interesting scenario. Guys, I don't have any skills applied to this mech either. So your range would actually be boosted, I think, what, 10% or so if you did max range on these. Torso twist. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Obviously, you can see arms have plenty of reach. I don't have an issue, so you can run and gun around a target pretty easily. I don't have any skills applied, so as far as heat management would be better. Range cooldown would be a little bit faster as well. depending on what you take. But light PPCs are significantly less tonnage, but they only do 5 damage, and that's within their optimal. Outside of that, it obviously drops off.
And Skyros, ooh, 666, that's how many viewers we have. Skyros is now the proud new owner of a Mad Cat Mark II standard pack. Congrats, man. Enjoy that tomorrow. Yeah, it changes Thundercat, but I saw it for a moment.
And let's go ahead and do a quick alpha. So I'll go ahead and get this down. And the pick top of critical space weapons and the paper and pencil. If you did not have the space, crits transferred inward. Pero's feeler is basically talking about crit splitting for like the LB20 and like those type of weapons. Chris did mention that obviously that's on their radar, but there's nothing to move on right now because that.
Chris.
Yep.
The Orion MX has a heavy Gauss rifle split between the side torso and center torso. Any chance of stuff like that happening in MWO? I'm not familiar with what he's asking, but maybe you are.
Well, it's pretty much going back to the entire crit splitting mentality. Like, the current systems, pretty much don't allow for crit splitting, and I know that we pretty much are running with the tabletop critical spaces for each of these mechs. But again, for things like crit splitting, that's essentially a feature change that would require a lot of things from mech lab assignments and different ways to kind of interpret all that stuff. And so it's not on the docket right this second, but I know that some people have been asking about it.
Target acquired.
It's not priority right now.
Yeah, like as far as the balance, as far as my role with the balance is concerned, clan versus IS balance remains the primary focus.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna go ahead and take a moment to say I like the run animation. It actually has flight, which means
both feet are off the ground.
Yep, I like that. Yes, it looks wonky and goofy, but I love that. That's cool. Yeah. That's actually.
Whoever did the animation for the UZL, great job.
And it's because it's not like any other mech too, so it's a brand new animation as well. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Also, keep in mind, guys, I don't have the max engine in this. Max engine plus speed tweak, you're going 135.
Somebody who was it that just said that looks like a Star Wars. That was Z-Trick. Yeah, it totally looks like a Star Wars animation. An AT-AT or whatever. And like stop motion or something. I don't know. Looks good.
I like it. So any other questions while we're here about the Uziel, feel free to speak up. As far as loadouts, how it's going to play, Darren, I don't know yet. When you compare it to other 50-tonners, what does it have that other 50-tonners don't? Obviously, jump jet capability. We only have one 50-tonner with ECM, and that's the Ghillie. Has plenty of hard points. I would say it's not going to be your missile boat savior. I don't think. I think maybe MRMs on one or two of them with a backup of something, or SRMs with a backup of energy and ballistic or stuff like that. I do think the strengths are going to be its energy weapons and ballistic combined. I do see stuff like, you can take heavier ballistics with it, but when you compare them to, like, let's just say the Hunchback 4G. Hunchback 4G is built around that AC-20, right? So I don't think an AC-20 plus the backup of a few energy weapons would be better than the Hunchback, but one could argue it's a 50-ton mech with jump jet capability, whereas the Hunchback 4G doesn't. So you'd sacrifice some of the offensive quirks for the fact. I think some people might enjoy that. I think aesthetically it looks pretty cool. It's definitely
yeah.
It's it's unique. I like the cockpit. I like the walk-run animation. I think that's freaking cool in itself.
So far, my favorite walking animation of the new mechs, for sure. We've got about 700 people in chat. Thank you all for being here and sharing your Monday with us. We totally appreciate it. Of course, we are doing the Civil War preview stream. Civil War patch comes out tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific. Servers will go down, and all this lovely new mech goodness and technology will be put into the game. So hope you're with us tomorrow. I think there's going to be a lot of people playing tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
And sort of mentioned too, light PPCs are a new tech item. They do have minimum range just like regular PPCs. The only PPC that doesn't have minimum range, well, there's two now, which is the snub nose PPC and the era PPC. So once you get in 90, these stop doing damage. And as far as their tonnage, you got 3 tons that does 5 damage. Now, a medium laser does 5 damage, but it's only 1 ton, but also range difference, duration. This is pinpoint front-loaded damage. And again, I'm not doing any skills on this, so your range will adjust, and so forth. So,
all right, so now, while Phil maybe switches to the next mech, Chris, you have time for a couple questions?
Sure.
All right, this one is a weapon question. One time I loaded RL-10 into my Shadowhawk's head hardpoint, and when I shot them, only 2 rockets came out because there's only 2 missile tubes on the head hardpoint. Is this going to be fixed or left as is?
Hold on, the Shadowcat? Shadowcat shouldn't have rocket launchers.
Is he talking about Shadowhawk?
Maybe. No, I said Shadowcat. He said Shadowhawk. My apologies. I blew that one.
So right now, rocket launchers basically work on the volley system that we have. So they are limited by pretty much the amount of tubes that there are on the mech. So if you do equip, say, a rocket launcher 10 on the head, it is going to stagger the fire. The only way to really get around that is to introduce essentially a stream fire to it. So they would fire more like MRMs or other kind of like chained weapon systems, like the clan LRMs or the MRMs that are getting introduced to this patch.
God, those are beautiful patterns on that mech. Andy Naga asks, the Uziel seems to have a large torso but no armor quirks. This surprised many of us. Can we assume that if it's too squishy, it will get some armor level? I'm going to say, of course. I mean, if the stats show that, then something will happen. But Chris is the one to answer.
Yeah, obviously, when it comes to things like the quirks, we keep a very close eye as far as performance of all these different mechs, and we'll make adjustments as we need to. But in the case of the Uziel, it was one of those cases where it's got a fair amount of quirks. All of them are high mounted. We did provide it with some pretty generous mobility attributes compared to the other 50 tenors, and yeah, it's still just, I'm sure Phil can pretty much say from driving around, it is a fairly flexible mech.
Feels agile. Right, yeah. Obviously the one thing I think when it comes to protection quirks, Chris, is how do the hitboxes hold up? Do the hitboxes, I mean, for me as a player, I ask the question, do the hitbox need adjusted first, or does it need survivability quirks on top of that? So
and Chris, it is Uziel, like you're saying, right?
I'm not sure, in all honesty.
Yeah, I keep saying.
Are people correcting me?
No, but I feel like I'm doing it wrong. Next question is from Salama. He says, have quirk terminology been updated across the board so it's clear when quirks affect UACs, ER, PPCs, Gauss, etc.?
Well, I'm not really sure on that question. For the most part,
am I.
Yeah, for the most part, the quirks are labeled appropriately. So if you have, say, something like a ballistic cooldown, that applies equally to all ballistics, whether it's the old tech or the new tech. If it's essentially an autocannon, it'll apply to pretty much all autocannons, regardless of whether it's the old tech or the new tech. There are some specific family cases where if it's essentially just LBX, then it'll apply equally to all the LBX stuff. But if it's actually labeled, say, like the LBX-10 or an LBX-20, then it only applies to the individual weapons. So that has always been the case with quirks, and it continues to be the case. And if there are any problems with the quirks, we'll be sure to look into them and fix them up if there are some inconsistencies or some things that don't work as they should. But it should pretty much work between old tech and new tech, depending on the terminology of the quirk itself.
Sorry, I'm just playing with paint jobs. Don't mind me.
No, it's good. I like to see.
You like mech porn, huh? Is that what you're into?
Yeah, what Lauren and those folks do with the patterns. I mean, God, they're constantly just having to try and keep up with all the new mechs coming out.
Yeah, there's a lot of them introduced this patch.
As soon as he jumps into the next mech, we'll, which I'm assuming will be the, I don't know, whatever it's going to be, we'll start the next giveaway.
Oh my! I get to choose. Oh.
Whatever you want. What do you think? What do you think is the most desired out of the next two mechs?
Oh, I can tell you, the most desired would be Mark II.
Okay, so let's do the Annihilator next.
You know, just because Mark II.
Yep.
You know, like for just.
So Annihilator up next. As soon as we jump into that, we'll start the giveaway.
And of course, for the, I just want to point out, I'm not a big cockpit item as far as like stuff that's flashy or whatever, but I would drop the Uziel Walk. Those are pretty cool. I like that. I usually just go with the flag, right? And then I'll do like a war horn. And that's a pretty cool IS war horn. Like,
Bandit very excited about the new API that's coming out tomorrow, as I am. It's gonna mean a lot for the player run leagues and tournaments out there.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on. Again, Uziel guys, just to recap, all of them have 390 max engine except for the 6P. The 6P has the most energy. Hardpoints with 6. It does have a max engine of 325. Ballistic energy combos across the board with, generally speaking, 1 missile. 2 Uziels, the 5P and the Hero do have 2 missile, 1 in each torso as far as left-right torso. Again, theory crafting galore. I think you'll see it a wide range. I think some people will try to do PPCs on it like we just showcased. I think you can see heavy PPCs being used, like Goss being used. If I see the light Goss being used like on the ballistic mounts on the 2S here. Again, high mounts. I mean, ridiculously high mounts. That's another thing. If you can see it, you can hit it. And with light Goss here being the tonnage that they are, I could see potentially that being used. Again, look at how high those are. And that also applies to the high mounts on the 6P for energy. Again, going back to, I can see those being taken over arms first. Whether it's light PPC or a combination thereof. This actually, again, wouldn't be a bad mech to do that combo on. You could even do the light peep, just like how we just had, but 2 in the torso. Again, look how high those are. If you can see it, you can hit it. And even to be fair, if you're looking at the arms, that's level, if not slightly higher than the cockpit. So if you can see it, you can hit it with arm mounts as well. It doesn't have ECM. It does have jump jets. Fairly mobile, I felt. All 50 tonners for the most part, since their base agility, the desync, the engine desync came in, all 50 tonners to me feel good stock without any boost. So any boost is welcome. Yeah, I think it's a pretty badass looking mech. I like it. I think aesthetically. Run animation, best animation I've seen so far out of the new mechs. The Cougar one, I think, shares pretty much the Adder and Kit Fox one. But that's a new animation and I dig it. So
it's sexy.
Phil,
you
thumbs
got a
up.
request to just turn the music down a tad. I would just do it very tiny bit. And also, again, we're just about halfway through the stream today, guys. It is a very long stream because there's a lot of new mechs and technology. But this video will be uploaded to YouTube today. So if you missed anything, it'll be there. You can check it all out. And of course, all this will be in game tomorrow. And while he's switching, Chris, do you have time for another question? it's back to rocket launchers.
Sure.
You can say no if you don't want to answer. So back to the rocket launcher tubes. A mech lab has 0 indication of tube count. So anyone adding a rocket launcher 20 to a 6-tube slot will not be getting any indication that it's only going to fire 6 missiles total. In the PTS, it would fire 6 only, not stagger. That's wasted tonnage that players would have no indication of unless they have advanced knowledge. Any comment to that?
So if it's firing only 6 only, that's definitely a bug. We do want to, if you take a rocket launcher 20 to be able to fire all 20 of those rockets. To my understanding, it was just stagger fired as opposed to standard fire. As far as the mech lab UI, I mean, I understand that is always a concern, but it's, again, something that I would have to pass up the chain and, try to get people that I don't have no idea what their schedules are like to look into it, because I don't have any control over that myself.
Affirmative. Thank you. And obviously, we're moving into the Annihilator. This thing is a monster. Talk about a kaiju.
So
but anyway, along with that, just real quick, sorry, Phil, we are doing another giveaway. Hashtag Operation Bulldog in chat right now. If you win, you get any standard Civil War mech pack of your choice. Hashtag Operation Bulldog.
All right, so first off, let's talk about aesthetics. The Annihilator has always been a ugly duckling, and I don't think that really changes, but
its mother loves it.
It's definitely different. I like the updated aesthetic. It was actually really cool seeing Alec work on this throughout the process. One thing I will say is I like the cockpit. I like the torso. It's one of those where it's like a stalker, syndrome. And it is. It's like a stalker CT. Aesthetically, it reminds me of something, kaiju almost. It's like
I want it to have its own war horn that sounds like Godzilla's roar. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about aesthetics. It's tall as all get out. This is actually, I think, the tallest. I think it is the tallest mech in the game now. I do think the mech lab was scaled up. I do believe, if you notice, you actually see more mech lab. And to put it in perspective, just really quick, let me drop the Atlas here just so you guys can sort of see it here. The Atlas no longer goes to the top, so again, Annihilator being...
This is a tall boy. Now, I have to say, as far as aesthetically, this mech has always been god-awful ugly to me. I've never liked the way it looks. But Alex, again, this is why he is a mech god, did an amazing job, and he actually made this mech appealing to me, which I never thought it was going to be. So kudos to you again, Alex. I bow down to your superior skills. But yeah, this is a lot of people love this mech, and I think they will even more in MWO now. I
think just basing off aesthetics, we can see hardpoint locations where they are compared to the cockpit. Now, we all know cockpit up here, weapons down here, low hardpoints. I think it may be in the case of just sort of like the Grasshopper, where tall, but the hardpoints are relatively higher than most mechs, that even though they're low, they're not as low as other mechs' highest points. Now, the arms compared to the cockpit, very low. Torsos are actually not too bad as far as position. I think the Annihilator is going to be one of those mechs where if it has sightlines on you, it's going to hurt. So whether mid to short range, I think, again, if it has sightlines, it's going to be able to put down some firepower. Now, that being said, these have some quirks on them. And by a lot, I mean a significant amount. Now, all of these have a max engine of 300, which is actually quite significant from a build perspective. Which means you're gonna have a lot of tonnage for weapon systems. XLs, light engines, and standards. I think with this mech, just because it is gonna be so slow, you just want to bring the max firepower possible. Some of these do come with like standard 200s in them. That's way too slow. I do think you want at least the max engine, whether it's a light 300 or an XL 300, and you just want to bring the max amount of firepower. So there is that. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few.
That cockpit is almost at like mech commander level.
it's up there, dude. Like first thing, doubles, Indo. The 1A here, if you look at the quirks again, all this information is up on the website, but just to put it in perspective, the CT is getting 31 plus armor, and across the board, I mean, that's probably what 25%, if not, I don't know here, 155, so whatever the max is. You do have ballistic heat, -10, IS AC 10, cooldown of 10%. So right off the bat, you get a boost towards AC 10s. Now, the stock loadout comes with it, but also too is I wouldn't be surprised of seeing this build, and that is the AC 4 AC 10. No backup, just all AC 10. Probably an XL. I'm gonna go out on a limb. You'd want to up armor where this thing is actually very unarmored, so let's go and do that. I would probably just drop that to 8. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in chat. I'll do my best to answer them. And of course, Darren is here as well, and Chris. As you can see, armor values here. Quite interesting. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of armor. And of course, we gotta fix this CT. I think this is one of those front face enemy, you know, at all times. And there you have it. So as far as tonnage too, one thing to keep in mind is crit space.
Question from Bishop Steiner. If one only loads a single energy weapon in the CT, which hard point populates?
We're gonna have to go with standard. Say again?
That was to you, Phil. If you put one energy weapon in the CT, what hard point populates?
I will check in a second, sir.
Except you just filled it with structure.
Yeah,
of all those AC
just 1 second.
10s.
I'm just looking at
Yeah, we'll get there.
I think the top one, because the 1P and the Mean Baby only have the one slot, and it's pretty much showing up as the top one.
Right.
There it is, it's top. Now if you do the second, go ahead and do that one as well. You can see the second one goes below. Now for science sake, let's put a PPC in there, see where it goes. It goes first to the high. There's that as well.
Cool. And they'd like to see armor skills if you get a moment with that as well.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my. Yeah, you can't do Indo on this. You could do light Pharaoh, but I don't think that nets you really anything. Yeah, you could. You'd have to put the extra ton of ammo in the torso, which I guess, and then you just up armor the rest. I mean, it's a risk, but we're here for science. I wouldn't advise that normally, but just for this sake. All right, so we have a total of, as far as armor, 559 out of 614. If you up armor this thing, I think the first thing you'd want to do is go cooldown on this. I think you'd want to be able to fire your ballistic as much as possible. You will have a heat penalty if you fire all AC 10s at once. But that being said, I think you could do operations, firepower. I don't know if you'd want to go armor, but we'll do this for science just because. And of course, if you guys have any questions, feel free to keep dropping them.
Asking, they want to see a Godzilla. I love the freaking names they come up with for mechs, but what would a Godzilla be? I don't know.
That was actually a semi-cannon mech.
Godzilla?
Yeah.
What do you mean semi-cannon? First of all, I'm not familiar with it. I don't know why.
I forget if it was Randall or Herb Bees that basically came up with it, but it's essentially 5 Gauss rifles in a single mech using a lot of crit splitting to pretty much get multiple Gauss rifles in one mech.
There a link for you in chat, Darren.
Thank you, Zoof.
And obviously you can do stuff like dual heavy Gauss on this as well. Again, don't think I'm just limited to this. I'm just looking at, you know, this mech gets a 10% bonus to IS AC 10 cooldown. I think again going.
Oh, the stone rhino. Well, duh. I thought it was
yeah, wrong mech there.
Wrong mech. So they want to see the version of Godzilla.
One second while I get around here. I don't know if you need this.
No, there's a Godzilla from Operation Klondike that used the Annihilator chassis.
Also, keep in mind, guys, I'm going to point out something that is new, and that is enhanced UAC Rack 2 modules. I'm going to read this out loud just so you guys are aware of it. Reduces jam duration for UACs and improves jam bar dissipation rate for racks. There's no more jam chance reduction on here. Now, Chris did mention, and he can confirm, that if a mech still has a jam chance reduction quirk, it still applies. But as far as the skill tree is only jam duration. And we can see here UAC jam duration, one module is negative 7.5. So obviously 2 would be 15% reduction.
I was corrected. It specifically states that it's not the Stone Rhino. I was just looking really quick and didn't read.
Thanks, Darren.
So Annihilator, Godzilla. I stand corrected.
Yeah, we're probably not going to be able to do that because of the lack of crit splitting.
Right. But we can get close. We can do our own version or something.
All right. So let's go ahead. I just want to see what this is like firing. But let me go ahead and take a look really quick at Cockpit. And again, guys, we got plenty to go through. I'm not gonna bounce right through too early.
Again, hashtag Operation Bulldog right now to be entered into a drawing for a standard Civil War mech pack of your choice. These mechs come out tomorrow. They'll be injected into your account immediately, and you'll get to play with your new toys like everybody else.
Oh man, 8 energy. This is the Annihilator 1E. Oh my word.
Chris, question for you. Is there any chance for regular ACs getting skill nodes and firepower to give them something unique, since there's a UAC, RAC, and LBX node, like armor penetration or something like that?
I'm not sure I follow. So, within the skill tree itself?
Yeah, skill nodes, specific skill nodes for the standard ACs.
I think
nothing on the horizon.
Yeah, nothing on the horizon. We're pretty cautious about that, mostly because we don't want to compound on kind of the unique skill sets as much as possible, just because when you basically create skills that only apply to one weapon, it further complicates the dynamic between the, what can I say, like the boating weapons as opposed to those mixed build weapons, and the skill tree needs to essentially accommodate both kind of loadouts. So the more and more you put those specialized nodes in, the more it pretty much caters only to benefit the boats. And that's why we've pretty much moved away from having those massive amounts of specialized skills like we had with the module system, as well as the early versions of the skill tree.
And that's what quirks sort of, if you want a mech to have a specific unique attribute, you guys are giving them quirks instead.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is the 1E, guys. I'm going to go toss this out here. PPC heat generation, -5. PPC velocity of 30%. And as you can see, another thing you can do is you can click on any of these. You can see the snub nose -1 heat, and this is without any skills applied. So regardless, unless it says ER PPC or light PPC, but right now if it says PPC, it applies to all of them. That's a PPC family quirk across the board. So right now we have that as well. So let's go ahead and put some doubles on this thing. 1 second.
Chris, any chance of skill nodes to extend the range of thermal and night vision?
I think we're going to be working more on base infotech skills before we start adding that stuff. I'm not opposed to it. It's just that right now we have some sensor skills within the context of the tree as it is that we need to kind of support first.
Okay. Phil, I'll be AFK 1 minute. Be right back.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, I'm just doing my thing. Playing. All right, so
With toys.
yeah, playing with toys here. Obviously, PPC. Gonna go ahead and take said skills. I want to showcase these because they do run a bit hotter. Armor, I'm not worried about that as much just right second. Want all the cooldown heat gen I can pick up. Gonna be showing off these in Training Grounds in just a second, guys. I will also show off racks, MRMs. There's been a slight change to MRMs since PTS. We want to showcase that. We'll go with have to pick one of these. And so there's that. All right, go ahead and showcase the Oh, come on, Tara got to it. Didn't it take but a few clicks? Really, actually, it doesn't. Once you get used to it, you just breeze right through it. You pretty much know what you want. Let's see if this is that. I don't know what to think about this for a second. Should I do the thing? Oh my word. Hold on. I definitely need these together. How about we do this? Snub, light.
I'm back.
Welcome back. So max engine, I didn't do speed
Target
tweak,
acquired.
but obviously I want to be within range here. I think this is gonna be brutal. Three, 320, 310.
Critical.
Alpha, all the things.
Critical.
Getting a little hot in there.
Yeah, dude, I fired a little bit too quick. This thing is massive. Good news is you'll be able to see them when you're coming over hill.
You're gonna see that cockpit.
I wonder what that looks like. Hold on. Hold on, I can't wiggle. All right. It's not as effective.
Target
This thing's like a
acquired.
dinosaur. That's what this reminds me of.
It's Godzilla, man. It's the mech version of Godzilla.
Is that right?
We need Mothra.
Critical.
Oh, I forgot the Warhorn. Thought I had it.
What's King Kong?
All right, let me take a look quickly. You guys can see the walk animation. It's not running. That's for sure. No, this is the Annihilator running. It's as fast as it's going. Actually, technically, that's not true. You could do speed tweak.
It wiggles its ass a little bit.
Is that what it does? It's got a little bit of hips, you know. Let me hop into the AC-10. Booty shake. Guys crack me up. It struts like an Irby. Yeah, it doesn't have the twerking going on like the King Crab, that's for sure.
No, nothing twerks like a king crab.
Got some attitude in the hips. I like that. You guys cracked me up. All right, let me check out the AC-10. So lots of builds. Just gonna toss this out here. Dual heavy Goss, snub nose. You can do that on this as well. That is left to right torso, which again, relatively high mounts, not cockpit level, but high mounts in general. You can do 4 racks on this as well, rack 5s. Let's see, you can do heavy PPCs. And I think even on the Mean Baby, you can actually do MRMs with backup as well. Now let me just point this out. Look at how high those mounts are for the missile. So I don't think you have a problem with
the high-mounted missiles. Remind me of those little pillows you can get for when you fly on a plane. You know, that support your
go around the neck.
Totally,
once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Well, and put LRM 20s or something up there. They're huge, dude. They just, total neck support, no doubt about it. We have 840 people in chat right now. Thank you all for being here. We totally appreciate it. Obviously,
my God,
the Civil War update is big. This is going to be the biggest patch tomorrow since probably the clan invasion. All kinds of new mechs, new technology, and lots of cool stuff. We're a little over halfway through this stream. It will be going up on YouTube shortly after the stream is finished. Look at that.
It's so true.
Right? That thing sits comfortably on doesn't sit comfortably on a plane because seats are so small. But anyway, its neck is supported. And also hashtag Operation Bulldog right now for your chance to enter into a drawing for a giveaway of a standard Civil War mech pack of your choice. We'll be giving that away in a few moments.
All right, and obviously you can do some MRMs on here. We'll quickly test out MRMs. Before we get in here, Chris, can you go ahead and PTS compared to now, what should I expect when I hop in here?
Specifically to MRMs?
Yes.
So higher velocity, and also we fixed an error in where they'll all aim for the pixel for when you initially fire the trigger. We were running into problems that mechs or the missiles responding outside of where the mech was, as well as a few other things. So it'll now follow your reticle for the duration of the burst.
So it's like almost like wire guided, sort of.
No, not wire guided.
Well,
much
I mean,
like it's pretty much like the Ultra AC-20s. The actual projectile.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, understood. I'm there now. I thought you meant like all of them will follow a track sort of thing.
No, we've gotten questions regarding that, and so that's not how the MRMs are going to be working.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go and hop in here and show this off really quick. I'll probably overheat and God, those freaking missile racks on the torso. Was the missile spread quirk on the rack addressed, or are they still part of the game?
Yeah, Artemis no longer affects the MRMs, and we've adjusted the actual spread values of the weapon accordingly. But missile spread through the skill tree will still affect the MRMs.
Are you guys ready for this? Your body ready?
The Mean Baby looks like a Dilophosaurus with those neck muscles.
You know what's funny is my cockpit items almost in step with me.
Pretty much. Slow down, man.
Heat level critical.
I don't have any skills applied to this, so it's gonna...
Whoa.
So just be mindful that there are heat penalties for firing too many of those missiles together.
Ah, there we go. There's the spread.
Experienced it.
Yeah, and I was testing out the spread here.
Yeah, you should be able to shoot 2 MRM 30s together, but you can only fire off a single MRM 40 without incurring penalties.
So 2 40s is even worse. Gotcha.
New target acquired.
Alright, so we'd wanna... Let's share the love.
Critical.
So again, the change guys, what he was talking about is before, when you fire one MRM, it would all just track forward regardless if you moved your reticle. Now you can spread out. So I'm gonna initiate. I can spread out. Before it was pretty much you'd fire and they would all come out right there and there was nothing you could do. So now,
Heat level critical.
I wonder what the impulse is like on that.
Acquired.
Get shot by him.
Chris, what does it go to you
Level
combining different MRMs? Can you shoot 230s and 140?
They're all linked together.
All linked together.
Yeah, just like the SRMs and the LRMs.
Target destroyed.
Well, basically to summarize, like how many missile tubes can you fire at once, basically?
Target acquired.
Different depending on the size of the launcher.
Really? Okay. So more hardpoints will give you more tubes without ghost heat?
Depends. I think that for 10, so we can fire 4 of them at once, so that puts you at 40, but then for... you can put double 30s for 60 of them, but then also the 40s are just 1 each.
I like that warhorn. That's a Banff warhorn. Just want to say that. I do like that. Alright, so obviously Annihilator. One gigantic mech again. Take a look out from the outside here.
You know what that warhorn a little bit reminds me of is Stranger Things or something like that.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. It reminds me of something. Sounds good, I agree.
Ammo at 25%.
It says SRAM ammo.
All right, let's do this giveaway right now. This is going to be for a standard Civil War mech pack of your choice. And the winner is...
Yeah, I like the 80s sort of.
Rancid Snivel, you are the winner. You got 60 seconds to let me know you're there and to claim your prize.
All right, I'm going to check out the Heavy Goss again. Just want to showcase a few here. Go to the one. Let me see here. To Keat. Already got that one. 2A. 1X, I don't think it really matters. Yeah, we'll go to the 1A. And again, you have to do a standard engine if you do this, but it's not a big of a problem because the standard engine.
Rancid, I whispered you. Let me know, whisper me back what your pilot name is and which mech pack you would like. We'll be doing another giveaway in a few moments, guys. Hang tight.
Don't go anywhere. No,
Can you
really.
hear the construction stuff going on behind me?
Now that you mention it, but I wouldn't worry about it. It's not.
Okay.
It's really not loud.
A tiny, tiny bit, like barely anything.
It's not.
All right.
Don't worry about it. We expect, you know, nothing else. All right, where'd I go with those? Yeah, I like those.
Chris, will any of the mechs, such as heroes or underperformers, benefit from an increased maximum number of skill points higher than the 91 maximum active ones, I mean?
So we're not going to do that, mostly because it affects the grind, and that essentially means that mechs that are underperforming require more grind. Whenever we basically see a case where we feel a mech underperforms, we're going to be pretty much looking at increasing the quirk values so that when you invest within the skill tree, it boosts things to a higher rate than what you see in other mechs, such as the armor and the structure quirks and various other kind of nodes.
One second, guys. Let me go ahead and roll down this.
And Rancid Snivel is now the proud new owner of a Mad Cat Mark II standard pack. Congrats, man, and hope you have fun with it tomorrow.
Mark II. That'll be next. I know that's what a lot of you guys are here for, but I'm gonna make you wait a little bit longer.
These.
Yeah, you know, it's part of the you know, the relationship.
part of the experience.
Yeah, man.
You always know that with Phil and I, there's going to be some teasing involved.
You know. All right, so this is a dual heavy Gauss and an ear and a snub nose.
Riz, we have certain things turned off for these official streams. Really quick, I will on that note say thank you to everybody who has subbed today and all the support that you guys are giving. We super appreciate it, but for obvious reasons, we're keeping that chatter down. So if we missed anybody, it wasn't
We'll get you at the end.
Yep.
Target acquired.
All right, so one thing to note, heavy Gauss rifles. As you can see here, my maximum range is 203. It's actually my optimal. This heavy Gauss rifles have a maximum of 3 brackets, and what I mean by that is range brackets. So even though it says 203, it doesn't just cut off at double that like Gauss rifles. It actually goes out to triple the range. So even though I may not be doing full damage, I can still do
Much more than triple.
yeah. And so I can actually still do a significant amount of damage even if I'm not in my optimal. Obviously, the max damage for this weapon would be in its optimal, but just keep that in mind. You also do have a reticle shake, so just keep that in mind. So if you go to fire that secondary weapon like the snub nose, you would run into issues with accuracy. So just keep that in mind.
Dark Knight says, while the Mark II might be cool, I'm really happy you all featured the Uzil. I'm much more interested in that mech now than I was before. We appreciate that, man. That is what we do these streams for. So you guys can see what is coming and maybe get some ideas of what you want. And I know you can hear it now.
Target destroyed.
Chris, does PGI have any planned changes towards airstrikes and artillery, the buffs to them via the skill tree? Seems like a very controversial topic in the community.
So for airstrikes and artillery, we are looking into options on that. I can't get into anything right this second, but hopefully fairly soon I can talk about that a bit more.
So look how big this mech is. Hold on. I'm just going to put it in perspective. Just 1 second.
There seems to be a request, Phil, for you to walk the Annihilator through the Crimson Strait Tunnel. Multiple people have requested it. I think they want to see if it's going to bang its head.
It's like the Annihilator's like looking down on the Awesome. Like
Looks down on everybody. So stuck up.
He's like, I'm going to eat you. Is that, you know?
It's Mech Commander view.
And of course, again, this is a build that you might see out there. You could potentially see dual heavy Gauss with other backup weapons as well. But of course, the heavy Gauss rifles hit like a brick house, literally. It's like...
now the song's in my head.
Is that what it is? So yeah, this is the Annihilator. Again, this is max engine, no speed tweak, 48.6 kph. I feel like it's going to be one of those mechs where it's totally vulnerable if left by itself. It will need a backup of friendlies, but once it's got eyes on you, I just feel like that's when the hurt happens.
We're also getting requests for walking up on the top of HPG. I'll let Phil decide if he's going to do either, but obviously they're wanting to see if there's anything in-game that it's going to
I'm not going to do that right now just because we have the Mark II and we have other weapon system to test out and show, but you guys can definitely play around with that tomorrow.
As HPG goes into immediate emergency overhaul. Raise the roof. We'll see.
Target destroyed.
So, Annihilator, what is its strengths comparatively? Ooh, hey, that's... Is that new? That may be new. Or am I just missing something? Am I missing something? Is that new, guys?
What are you looking at?
If I just been...
Oh.
Is that new? I think that's new.
Well, not the circular pool, but...
I just haven't noticed it. I haven't noticed it.
That's been there forever.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Target acquired.
Anyways, don't mind me.
never look over there.
I never look over there.
Pool's been there from day one.
What is its strengths? What is its weaknesses? I think the strengths are going to be it's got plenty of tonnage to do whatever it wants. High mounts as far as on the torso. It can do AC-20s. It can do heavy Gauss. It can do quad light Gauss. I mean, it could do quad racks. It could do PPCs, obviously, with the one. It can even get a bonus on velocity with the 1E. I believe it's, yeah, the 1E. What are drawbacks? I think speed is ultimately going to be one of the biggest drawbacks to the Annihilator. Obviously, size. It's physically not as wide as some of the mechs, but because of the top speed, I think it's going to be vulnerable to getting knifed and you know, snuck up on. But that being said, if it hits you with any type of these weapons, especially the heavy Gauss or anything, that's just gonna hurt. And even, like I said, even if it's not at its optimal range, it still hits really hard. So just keep that in mind.
Target destroyed.
Oh, there's an ammo explosion.
Chris, will 100-ton mechs be getting a buff to their agility or mobility since the engine desync?
We're still observing all that.
Annihilator.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk about it a bit more.
Yeah,
I don't want to...
No, sorry. Someone said Annihilator can maneuver most static emplacements.
I like that.
Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
So you're saying it's being observed?
It's being observed right now. I'll get into the reasons for the patch day stream tomorrow. I don't want to basically get into a discussion like this, you know, when we're trying to showcase the mechs. But I'll definitely talk. I'll talk more about it tomorrow's stream.
Which, of course, we will be doing. There will be a patch day stream tomorrow. As soon as the patch is up, Phil will be streaming. I'll probably be joining him, and we'll have a lot of fun with the new mechs, new tech, etc. And we're over halfway through this stream, the preview today, the Civil War preview. It will go up on YouTube immediately after, so if you missed anything, it will be there. Sorry for the sound in the background.
Darren, well,
yes.
He'll be joining us, but will he be joining us in-game as well?
Hopefully. My life is a little chaotic at the moment. I can get into that later, but hopefully. And we will be doing another giveaway momentarily. Over 835 people. Dang.
I know, man. Just want to say this is probably our biggest sneak peek, which makes sense. I mean, to some extent, Civil War tech. I know a lot of people are excited. All right, guys. So this is the quad AC-10 build that I was the first mech I built earlier. This is gonna hurt, by the way, for anybody that gets hit by this. Oh my god. Oh, it's glorious. Dear baby Kerensky. Oh my.
Yeah,
oh
that's
my,
pretty
indeed.
crazy.
Oh my. Oh my. Now again, so going back to the weaknesses of this chassis, I mean, it's slow, it's going to be vulnerable. Obviously the mounts compared to the cockpit are lower, but once it's able to bring this firepower to bear,
Also going to make a quick announcement. Tomorrow night is the return of the Masters Challenge, and tomorrow night we have Master Twinkie Overlord joining us for the first time. So this is going to be not only the return of the Masters Challenge, which has been a few weeks, but it's also going to have all of these Civil War tech. So who knows what we're going to be freaking seeing tomorrow night. That'll be 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and 1 a.m. UTC on twitch.tv/Piranha Games. Join us. Free mechs if you win.
So someone just asked about the pitch aim up and down. The aim is actually pretty good on the arms. You can see arm reticle can actually reach quite well. The torso looks like you think it's right at 90 degrees to the right, and this is with no skills obviously applied. And then as far as arms, it seems like it has quite a bit of reach. I mean, you can pretty much shoot below where you can see and above as well. Oh yeah.
There are rocket launchers allowed for that?
So far, we haven't said no to anything. So everything is allowed currently. If we determine that it needs to change, keep in mind though, as always, the Master Challenge is all about fun. It's not about it's not like we're talking MRBC here.
Target acquired.
Well, I mean, there are free mechs there to
Yeah.
Critical.
We'll see. If rocket launchers don't work, we'll pull them from the Master Challenge.
Target destroyed. Heat level critical. Override engaged.
Who let me do this? That's ridiculous. I think I found my favorite.
Crazy Hippie's gonna love that. Anger Beard's gonna love it.
Because I haven't even done skills. You throw on operations for heat. You throw on maybe, because we got full, firepower as far as that apply. I didn't do all the heat on that either. Dance, boy, dance.
Yeah, guys, I get the point with the rocket launchers. I'll talk to Paul and we'll figure it out.
Heat level critical.
So one thing to note.
Rocket launchers seem like a very beef weapon, don't they?
So one thing to note about the rocket launchers from PTS to now is that we have implemented a minimum range on them. So that way it does force the spread to kind of go out across multiple locations a bit more now. Because now you have to essentially fire at them from outside of 50-meter range. You couldn't just dive bomb them and just hit all of them at a single location. They're still potent, but they're not like what they were in PTS.
Sorry, I can't hear you over the awesomeness going on right now.
Target destroyed.
All right, the Annihilator. Again, this sort of demonstrates what I was just talking about, which is, I feel like, yes, it's slow. It's going to be vulnerable. It's a big, tall mech. The hardpoints compared to the cockpit are low, but the hardpoints themselves are relatively high compared to other mechs as well, especially in the torso. I feel like this is going to be one of those mechs that once it's able to crest and get its line of sight, it's able to deliver a lot of firepower. Whether you're quad 10s, whether you're quad racks, whether you're Goss Peep, or whatever you're doing, PPCs, laser vomit, whatever. I feel like it's going to be bringing a lot of firepower, and it's got plenty of options, being symmetrical almost on all of its hardpoint locations as well. The standard or the engine 300 size being your max, you pretty much, most builds are going to do either XL 300. Actually, I would say probably all of them. I would see standard being used the most, just because then you'd have so much tonnage to play with. This has a an XL 300 in it, but that being said, that actually surprises me just a bit. I was not expecting that quad AC 10 to be as enjoyable, but you guys will be able to experiment and play with it throughout after the patch tomorrow. So expect to see these. Obviously, make sure to drop with friends, because again, I do think the one weakness, slower speed and bigger size, will make you vulnerable. But that is a lot of firepower, being able to go down range at one point in time, which, again, IS mechs definitely need. So, yeah. Once it's going, though, follow it. It's sort of like the Atlas once it's pushing. All right, Darren, are you doing another giveaway? We're gonna hop in here. Oh, we do have UAC 10s as well, too. That's another thing.
reading a dorky question. Yeah, we are doing another giveaway. Of course we are.
All right.
Are we jumping to the grand finale right now?
Let me showcase racks really quick before we move on.
Do that.
Let me showcase some of the others, because I think PPCs are sort of self-explanatory. We did the snub nose earlier. We did the light heavy PPCs. I think that's sort of a given. But one thing what we could do here is we could showcase some racks, just because. Now, there was a bug in PTS. It's been fixed. So I'll go ahead and showcase the rack 5s and 2s right now, because science. Dun, dun, dun. And again, you can see here, even with that firepower, we still have 12 tons left over. You can't really do any more than that too. That's gonna be another kicker, just because of as far as top speed is concerned. So let me just go ahead and top this on here, and we'll drop quick. We started the. Have you even started the next giveaway, or are they just doing it just because?
No, they're doing it on their own. I have not started. The funny thing is, one person throws something up there, and then everybody thinks that's it. And,
All right, so here we go. And again, one of the bugs that was happening before was the AC2s or the Rack 2s. And I can just add our jam. Oh my. So one thing to note is when the weapon does jam and unjams, you'll be at 0% cooldown and you can just continue firing. What I did there is I split up the firing, and that was having the issue earlier of the heat bug that was happening on PTS no longer exists. And that also includes if you do AC Rack 2s and Rack 5s, it's all fixed. So we are good to go on that aspect. Let me go and get up here. I'm gonna wiggle my ass slowly. So 2 Rack 2s. I don't know if you'd want to just feather it, or if you just say screw it, just hold down the trigger until it jams. I think that's probably going to be the mentality a lot of the times, just hold the trigger, let it jam, and then especially with if you do like 6 Rack 2s or something like that. Here's Rack 5s. Chris, a question as far as heat scale on this Ghost Heat. How does that apply? Is it after 2 or 3, or are they linked?
Yeah, they're linked together, and it only applies when more than 2 of them are firing at times. So you can spin up between them without incurring any penalties, but if both of them are firing at once, then you start getting penalties.
All right, so that's where you saw that spike, guys. She's gonna only fire 2 at a time.
Yeah.
And of course, if we do fire 1 each here. You can see that the heat bug was fixed. I just wanted to make sure everyone is aware of that. That was a big deal. So as far as Rack 2s and Rack 5s, I honestly think that, again, just sort of suppression I don't know what the impulse is. I don't think it changed when we were doing testing last time on PTS. I had Chris fire at me. It didn't seem like it knocked you around a whole lot, but
yeah, try to keep the screen shake fairly manageable on those. It'll still shake you up, and the actual explosion effects will still affect you, but the actual shake
Target
is
acquired.
not as extreme as ballistics.
About 850 people in chat. We appreciate you being here. If you don't mind, give us a follow if you haven't already. That'll notify you every time we go live. Phil streams live pretty much every single day, and I will be streaming hopefully shortly myself as well. And
Really?
yep, trying to this week, but like I said, some hectic things going on. But anyway, this is the Civil War preview stream. We were wrapping up shortly. We have one more mech to check out. Phil may fool around at the end. We'll see. But this will go up on YouTube immediately after. If you missed anything, it'll be there. And we do have one more giveaway coming up soon. Were MRMs already shown? Yes, they were shown very well. So again, that'll be on YouTube. If you missed the MRM section, Phil having a good time with DACA.
Yeah, he was testing it on the Annihilator for those that were interested.
so these are the racks. You can see that the main bug that was happening last time was fixed, and don't mind me, one more mech to kill.
Cannon ammo depleted.
I do also want to mention with the racks, so we identified some hit registration bugs with it on PTS that have been improved for final release. So those that did test them on PTS should be seeing more consistent results with them as well.
All right, so that'll be it for the Annihilator. Again, bring in firepower, dual heavy Gauss, quad UACs, quad AC-10s. Obviously, you can do the quad MRMs as well, or MRMs plus energy on the hero. Plenty of options.
To its name, Phil?
The Annihilator?
Yeah.
It's yeah, I don't know. Like I said, as far as like the firepower it's able to bring, that AC-10 setup was
Pretty
fearsome.
brutal.
Yeah, I mean, and you throw on, I think possibly you could do a UAC 10 build. Let me quickly see if you could do UAC 10 build too. Oh my god, like that would. And I like IS UACs. That 3, especially the 10s, 3 burst instead of 4. Oof. It felt really good. Even the IS UAC 20s actually felt better. Obviously, one less round you having to aim, but yeah, that's one hell of a mech right there. And again, I think we might be able. Let's see here. I know I don't have armor on the arms, but yeah, you could probably do UAC 10s. Let me see here. Would you want to go light? You may have to go light engine. Yeah, you'd probably run into, you'd run into crit issues, I think. I don't want to leave you 3, yeah. You probably wouldn't be able to do quads. We could do like triple 10s. Actually, again, probably want to do like 2 10s and like a backup of something else. I don't know. But definitely interesting, that's for sure. But guys, that's going to be it for the Annihilator. Again, I know some people are looking forward to this. Some people are like, meh, it's an assault mech. I'm indifferent. I think I'm going to be watching out for it. If I go around the corner and I see one of these, I'm just going to go nope and go the other way. So there's that as well. And of course, you can do LB20s, UAC 10s, or UAC 20s on this as well, and heavy Gauss in the torso. Plenty of options. So on to the last one, because I know that's why some of you guys are really here.
There's 850 people here that want to see the Mad Cat Mark II. So we're going to also start the next giveaway on to the big mech that so many people love this mech, and I understand why. It is sexy. It's going to be a sexy beast. So we're going to do one more giveaway, and this one's going to be a little special. This is going to be for a collector's pack plus the hero mech plus the reinforcement. So this is the everything pack. You can choose whichever mech you want, and here we go.
So, and this is going to be...
Hashtag Civil War starts tomorrow, right now. Hashtag Civil War starts tomorrow. And this is for an everything pack of your choice.
All right, so there's 850 people. Keep in mind, you do have to be following the channel to be eligible. So just keep that in mind.
Follow. It's just a click.
That's the only. You don't have to be a sub. You just have to follow. All right. So let's go and talk about the Mark II right now. The Mad Cat. The Timberwolf Mark II, the Mad Cat Mark II.
So you're a fan of the Timberwolf. Obviously,
yes.
That was one of your favorite mechs from...
It is my favorite mech.
When you started playing MechWarrior 2.
Yes.
And
yes.
Yeah, so what do you think of this baby? Too heavy for you?
No, I'm saying Mark II in general, like even from MechWarrior 4. Like I was never a big fan, but what it was able to do firepower-wise was a lot different. Now, aesthetically, I just want to point out the Timberwolf... the original, the normal Timberwolf, he made an aesthetic change with the legs, and then he went back to this look for the Mark II, which is quite interesting, where it doesn't have the knee joint in the same area. It's got the outside knee joint compared to, and that was a change he made with the regular Timberwolf. So it's interesting that he made that change. Aesthetically, I think it looks very familiar to the original, which was MechWarrior 4. I know some people wanted some changes to the arms. I don't have a fight in that. As far as like aesthetically, I think it looks cool. One thing to note from my perspective is all the high mounts. Like this thing,
high mount friendly.
It's, I mean, if you can see it, you can hit it. And then also too with the torso mounts, right underneath the chin, you're going to be able to see it and hit it. So I feel like it's solid in that regard. As far as tonnage available, weapon systems, it's able to do pretty much everything that you want. So as far as aesthetics, I think he hit it right on the nail. It is different enough compared to MechWarrior 4, but of course everything has to move forward. And I know the camo pattern, that shark on the hero, looks pretty bamf. I'm just gonna go ahead and showcase that.
Oh yeah, those teeth, right? Yeah.
Right. I've always thought the sort of great white shark. That's pretty cool. It does look interesting with no ears, just like the regular Timby, right? But it is what it is. I know some people are. I know some people are like, no, I don't like it because of that. Yeah. So it is what it is in that regard. But keep in mind.
Oh, hey, look at Lauren Bamla is in chat. Lauren, phenomenal job on these textures, as always. We were looking, at a lot of different patterns, obviously, in all these mechs. I know it's a ton of work for you to retrofit all these the patterns on the new mechs.
And people don't realize how much work until you watch her stream, too, when she does it. And then you're like,
streams, Lauren. Yeah. You got to be rock star again with your glasses. But anyway, amazing work, Lauren, and we appreciate it. I want you to know that.
So one thing to note, just like some of the other mechs, this is a clan battle mech. This is not an Omni mech. And that actually is quite significant to mention, just because you're not hard locked into jump jets. You're not hard locked into BAP or engine size or any of that. It does open the door to min-maxing. Again, 400 engines, max engines on all these. So just sort of like the Marauder 2C, it's another mech that I think will be quite powerful, especially with the high mounts. The ability to switch out your engines, ability to switch out, Pharaoh, Indo, double, whatever you want. The ability to bring all those to bear is frightening, if I do say so myself. The high mounts, I know a lot of people are looking forward to this. All right, so speaking of which, what are some builds? Heavy lasers coming out here does change a few things. I could see heavy lasers being used quite effectively on the 1. Heavy lasers, again, keep in mind when you do the heavies, especially large or whatever, they tick up more crits, but they're actually lighter than their counterparts. As far as a large pulse is 6, and the ER large, of course, is 4 as well. But so just sort of keep that in mind. I can see ATMs also being used on this. ATMs also had a slight change coming in here. Again, for those that want to see those, we can showcase those. And the big thing again is the XL engine, being able to just select which one you want. XL4, an XL400. Oh my word! And you still have that much tonnage to play with. That's pretty.
Somebody asked if there's going to be some like Steiner versus Davion type stuff in game content or whatever. During the recent town hall, Russ did mention that. I think he said events potentially or something like that. But yeah, obviously Civil War means Civil War, so it'll be showing up somehow. I have no idea how. But we'll see soon. Maybe Chris knows.
Well, one thing to note about faction play is that there's actual win conditions now, so be sure to check out the patch notes. I know it's still clan versus IS centric, but yeah, for those that wanted like actual win conditions and capital takeovers and whatnot, we have them now.
Yeah, and I think we'll see some Civil War events for sure.
All right, so just looking through these. You do have, out of all the Mark IIs, you do have one with a right torso ballistic. Let me go ahead and showcase that again with the Gauss rifle here. You can see it is quite high as far as the mount. So there is that, you know, in conjunction with backup of mediums or heavies or even ATM, whatever. There is one with a right torso ballistic. And I don't believe the other ones. I think they're all in the arms as well. So that is the one exception, which is again the A with the one right torso ballistic, right there. So there is that. Some things to note again: all the high mounts on this. If you can see it, you can hit it. Plenty of speed. I don't know if you'd want to take a 400. It does eat up some tonnage, but that being said. 360-ish probably is going to feel pretty good in most of these, which some of these come with stock. I mean, 64.8 kph, plus if you do speed tweak, that would probably bump you up.
You said doo-doo. Azers requested a Splat Scorch build on the Mark II 4. Just saying.
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah.
I think we can
just
do
passing on that info.
Well, it doesn't have ballistics on the 4, so there's that. I think he's missing that.
No, Splat Scorch missiles.
Well, I know, but the Scorch comes with LB20s
right.
and
so it's not exactly
4s.
the same.
No, that would be more. I think this would be the.
Chris, are there any intentions to add a C3 to the game? I believe this was brought up before, and the answer was no. But
yeah, before we can consider that, we need to work on base level infotech systems, and it's one of those never say never things.
Right.
But for the immediate future, there's no plans.
As one of our good friends says, in success, all things are possible.
Oh, yes.
Hashtag Civil War starts tomorrow. Right now, to be entered into a drawing for a giveaway of a full ultimate Civil War mech pack of your choice. Any of the 4 mechs that are coming out tomorrow, you get the collector's pack plus the heroes plus the reinforcements. Hashtag Civil War starts tomorrow.
And keep in mind, because this is a battle mech, you're able to pick and choose. Like for instance, I don't have to take Pharaoh armor. I'm going to lose some weight savings, but then I gain that back as far as crits. You also don't have to worry about ammo explosions. That's another thing, you know. So there are setups that you can do that are very similar to like the Marauder 2C. Again, just sort of go off this. It being 85 tons. If you can do it in the Marauder 2C, you're able to do it in the Mark II. So there's that.
Someone requested you putting a SRM2 on it.
No, I'm gonna show off what they look like right now.
See
So
what you do.
All right, so let's go take a look at the ATM 12. I'll go ahead and switch over to column view just so it's a little bit easier. So show that. Let's go to right torso, LRM 20, another LRM 20. Let me just count the tubes here. All right, so 20
We have
count.
never had this many people entered into a drawing ever.
Yeah. Dude, you're giving what away again? So like, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. ATMs, of course. I like the little launchers. That's cute. And of course, Streak 6s. I love how it fits with the Geo. That's nice. Timberwolf, Mark Nicholson. If you're listening, if you want to retrofit the old Timberwolf like this. I've been on that forever. I know.
Yes,
SRM2
is an ultimate pack.
There you guys go. And of course, ballistics on the arms. We'll showcase those as well, because why not Goss? I think everyone's seen those. UAC 20s. Nothing new or different. Obviously, we do have heavy machine guns and light machine guns. There's as well. There's a slight difference in size there, but nothing crazy. And then, of course, you have where the mounts on the torso. You can see there are the energy mounts. So nothing really new as far as this compared to the others that you haven't seen already. I would call those relatively high as far as points. So whether you do the dual Goss or dual peep, dual Goss or whatever, keep in mind there is a change to heat scale linking PPC and Goss. If you fire more than 3, so for instance, you can fire dual Goss 1 peep. If you fire that second peep at the same time, it does incur a penalty. So keep that in mind.
Chris, I've heard this question a few times today. How did the light Gauss perform on PTS compared to the normal Gauss? And there's I've seen this from multiple people, a request for the light Gauss to have no charge time. Well, I assume that's not in the works or anything like that. Any comments?
Not in the works for right now, but all things are considered as far as balance is concerned. When it comes to pretty much the light Gauss, the big things that we are keeping a close eye on, we did give it a fairly short cooldown time for what it is, but it is essentially a large laser that has pinpoint damage for pretty much no heat, and the no heat aspect is something that we're keeping a close eye on as far as trying to balance that out against everything else that's already on the field.
Just going to show off some heavy lasers as well.
And we do have Chris Lowry joining us in here. That's who you just heard. And thank you, Chris, for spending your time with us. We appreciate it.
No problem.
That goes for all the other PGI peeps lurking in chat. We saw Lauren earlier. I'm sure there's others.
By the way, whoever did the cockpit items, I like it.
Yeah, pretty cool.
New Warhorns, IS-1's Banff. Let me see here. There it is, walking. And of course we have the Warhorns. Line 1.
The beep? So do we, okay, so we obviously...
We have the beat, the beef, or the beef, the beat.
The beep. I love it. Beef has started a trend. Are these his alts? Or are these copycats?
I don't know. I cannot confirm nor deny.
I would see the beat in chat and keep thinking it's him. Now we got the beep.
Anyways, just want to say again, welcome to everyone out there. Hopefully you're having a great day. If you are new to the channel, my name is Phil. I go by Sean Lang in-game. Toss me a friend invite if you haven't done so already. SEAN space LANG. Or not, yeah. Space LANG. And of course we also have Darren, aka Bombadil here, and Chris Lowry on the mic. So yeah, let's go ahead. For those that haven't heard heavy lasers, mediums. And then of course heavy large.
Heat level critical.
Somebody needs to claim it real quick. The beer.
I don't have any skills applied to this mech, so just keep that in mind. You would be going faster if you did max engine. Being a battle mech instead of an omni mech, you do have that capability, which is quite nice. It's gonna wiggle up here.
In regards to laser color, the art department is aware of the request for different colors for the lasers. I don't know what that means, but we'll find out as soon as we can and let you guys know. I have the same request.
Heat level critical. Target destroyed.
Ooh, ammo explosion.
New target acquired.
We also have some new clan factions being introduced. Steel Vipers.
Yes, we do.
And one other.
Heat level
The
critical.
Nova Cats.
No cats. There's.
Target destroyed.
Twinkie asks, why is this so hot?
I don't have any skills applied,
That's one reason.
and I don't have many heat sinks on it.
That's the other.
That's why. No, I just don't have a whole lot of I don't have any of the skills applied or anything like that.
This is quick science.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
You
thorough,
guys are gonna
quick
do the
science.
thorough science. We're just showing you the tools that you're gonna have. Again, nothing new or crazy as far as new clan tech except ATMs as well. ATMs did have a slight change. So Chris, I know you like ATMs in general. You were playing around with them. Can you just go ahead and what's the I guess the goal? What's the perfect scenarios for ATMs compared to, I guess, just regular LRMs? Like, what's the difference between the two?
So they're mostly balanced around their kind of medium range bracket. ATMs are supposed to essentially be a very flexible kind of missile weapon system that has different types of damage fall-offs depending on what kind of range that you're engaging in. So about 500 meters is pretty much where we're balancing them around for 2 damage per missile. So it's essentially a homing SRM that can reach out at about 500 meters, but then past that 500 meter mark, you can still get beyond LRM ranges, and it'll fall back down to LRM damage for when you want the utility of reaching out and getting someone who's either running away or when you're trying to secure a kill faster. But in addition to that, there's
Target
also
acquired.
a 3 damage range bracket that has a very small window to engage in. There is a minimum range on the weapon itself. And the main reason is that we really want people to kind of focus on kind of the mid-range as the primary way that you'll be engaging with the weapon. But past that, for those people who do have the skill to pretty much keep within a very shallow 150 meter range bracket and keep themselves at that distance, you can pretty much enhance your damage by about 50% and still have the utility to reach out at extended ranges and get people who are pretty much trying to run away from you. Or
So 150 meters, you're doing 3 damage per?
Yeah, at 150 meters, or at 120 meters, you're doing 3 damage per, and that goes out to about 270 meters. And past that, it goes down to 2 damage per missile, up to about 500
So Phil,
meters.
you could back off. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Is like they would have to look
120
into.
degrees.
They would have to know that ahead of time, because like in game, it says 1,100 meters. They may not know.
Yeah, I made a forum post not only regarding the ATMs, but also all of the kind of odd damage drop-off weapons like the heavy gauzes. And within the mech lab, there is a graphic that pretty much showcases about what range brackets you'll see the damage dropping off on the weapons.
Okay. So
By
if
the
they
way, we did. Go ahead.
if they do need that
New
information, it's in the mech
acquired.
lab where they have to click
Yeah.
on the weapon in the stats and the drop-off bar.
Yeah, you'll notice them within the damage drop-off chart, and all that's illustrated there.
real quick, as far as inverse kinetics, I don't have an update on that yet. I know it's on the docket, but you know, Russ keeps addressing it. It's still to be done. I don't have an ETA on that though. As far as rest is in regards to colorblind support, I'm ashamed to say nothing yet, but it is on my docket, and I keep bringing it up. And as soon as we can get something to improve that situation, hopefully we will. I'm not ever going to give up on it. We did also briefly pass 900 people in chat, so what I'm going to do after we do the ultimate pack giveaway is I'll give away some C-bills. I'll try and kind of rush give away as many not C-bills, MC as possible before the end of the stream. So thank you all for getting us up over 900 viewers today. It's been awesome having you all here. And of course, the stream will be up on YouTube immediately following the stream, so if you missed anything, you can check it out. I'm sure there's all kinds of plans to do Civil War related events, not just Steiner versus Davion, but I don't know the details, and as soon as we'll let people know. This isn't, keep in mind guys, this isn't a town hall, so let's keep the topics on point. I don't know about all the, you know.
Why not, Darren? Why don't you know?
I wish I did.
Yeah, we'll show off the cockpit. So again, going into it, pretty much wide open. I mean, you can see, you know, anything that you need to. And of course, if you scale this back, I like to play with 85 to 90. So I'm not smacked up against the cockpit.
Chris, do you know offhand what the ghost heat is on ATMs?
I think it's a lot like LRMs, where it's 2 to 4 per launcher, depending on the size.
Let's go check out the... Reminds me a lot of like the Warhawk and the Dire as far as its run animation. Very rigid.
Super Funk, I'd love to answer your question, but again, like I said, this isn't a town hall and I don't have the answers. We're keeping this kind of Civil War specific, even though that is Civil War specific. But I just don't know. This is more just teasing the stuff that's coming out tomorrow. You know, maybe we'll have another podcast or something with Russ soon, or maybe Russ plus other devs, and answer some of these questions that you guys have. I know, I'm anxious for it all as well.
I'll also be joining Phil tomorrow on the patch day stream, and I can answer a bit more balanced questions then.
Yep, we'll be going live immediately following the patch. Chris will be there, like he just said, and can answer more of your questions.
Target acquired.
Well, maybe it is walking on its toes. Maybe it's sneaking around.
Something.
Do you know what the, Chris, do you know what the heat penalty limit is for heavy medium lasers?
You can safely fire up to 4. There you go.
Heat level critical.
Granted, guys, I have like no heat, nothing on this. That's why it's so hot. All right. So, builds that you might see for the Mark II. This is pretty wide. I think you could see dual Gauss heavy mediums being used. Obviously, dual Gauss dual PEEP. Granted, because that change, you want to watch your heat on that. I think dual Gauss dual PEEP is still going to be pretty powerful. That being said, I could see 4 UAC 5s being used on this as well, with all high mounts. ATMs, a combo of heavy, large, heavy mediums, LBs. I pretty much, you can do the exact same thing on the Scorch. You can do it on the 2 right here. So that's LB20s and 4 SRM with Artemis. again, close range brawl, I can see that being used. And just combination, I could see even the one right here, instead of, I could see someone ditching the ballistic all entirely and just going heavy lasers with a backup of like ATMs or something like that. I could see that being used. There's a few different ones, again.
So he says it walks around like it's got to drop the kids off at the pool. Do all of the Mad Cat Mark II models come with the Diamond Sharks insurance brochures, or do those come separately? I don't know. You have to look around in your cockpit when you get them tomorrow. Phil didn't look around everywhere, so maybe they're somewhere in there.
And of course, we do have the new little decal things that came out as well. I actually dig these. Rumble seat equipped. And these are for the pre-orders, right? This is for the early adopter rewards. You got the caution and the squid. You've got the kaiju. You've got the milk crate and the snake. I am snake, and the diamond shark with the that as well. Of course, all those are available right here. I like the RAR one. That would go like really well in your kaiju as well. So there's that. Go ahead, showcase 2, 4, nope. FB2B. And I can see 4 UAC5s being used on this.
CK wants to see more camo patterns on the Mark II.
I bet he does. He's been like hounding us.
Dude, this whole time. CK, I love your enthusiasm, but obviously I can't answer everything you poke me with.
And of course we'll just show off you know, a few of the main ones here. Again, Franken, I think everyone likes it. I like that skeleton.
Assault lamp cockpit item. Paylor, that sounds like a good idea. I have one of those in real life, by the way.
Wolf. Smoke Jag.
Are there any IS Omnimex headed our way? Russ did address that in the recent town hall. I think he said there's nothing on the horizon, but it's obviously possible now.
Yeah, I mean, they have plenty of non-omnis that could go to, but now that clan system's in, I think that's what he said. It wouldn't be too difficult to get those in once they do decide.
Question for Chris about LBX 20 ammo in the PTS. It was 10 shots per ton, but patch notes listed as only 7 as other AC-20s. Was this addition or removal intentional? Was a change intentional?
Yep, because we pretty much matched it to the other 20 class weapons that you find around. Like, we're testing. Just keep in mind, guys, that PTS is there for testing. There are some things that are there that we just want to look into. Doesn't guarantee that we're pretty much going to release it like that.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely Jason's doing a great job on the cockpit artwork as well. We've got Lauren Bamlett still in chat. Give your love to Lauren. She does all of the amazing, or most of the amazing mech texture work. It's a hard job, and she does a great job. And then Jason also does an amazing job on the cockpits, in my opinion, as well. And we're going to be giving away this Civil War mech pack, the Ultimate Pack, very shortly. Just a few more minutes. Hashtag Civil War starts tomorrow.
Of course, I will be streaming, guys, going live as soon as the patch goes live. Just keep an eye out on Twitter. And of course, if you haven't joined our Discord server, I usually post up right when it goes live. I'll do an announcement. If you haven't joined us on our Discord server, maybe today's the day that you do so. It's a great app to utilize. Again, you can get that information. This chat just scrolls.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. All you have to do is type in ! Discord. It'll give you the info. If you haven't used Discord, it's a chat RSC client. It also has VoIP capability, But the cool thing is you can link your Twitch account, so if you're like a sub, it'll put you in the group. But also too is just so you can keep it up to date, because if there's any like really nice new mech porn, I'll make a post in the mech porn thread. If there's announcements for the game, I'll make announcements there. And of course, when I go live, I post in the stream info tab. It's great on iOS, and I'm assuming Android's just as good as well. It updates all the time. Haven't had any issues, so make sure to check out Discord if you haven't done so already. Again, clans, there's not a whole lot of new tech. I mean, really. I mean, it's pretty much Civil War has to do with IS catching up to clans as far as there. So we've got heavy lasers, ATMs, heavy machine guns, light machine guns, and light tag. But really, other than that, it's just new mechs. Of course, this being a battle mech, being able to take whatever engine you want. Again, that's so big for these mechs. Again, XL400 being max for the Mark II. Anything that you could do with the Marauder 2C, you can pretty much do with this. Very symmetrical in its hardpoints. Again, going back to the A being one of the only with a right torso ballistic. All the other ballistics are in the arms, so there is that to distinguish them. But yeah, this comes out tomorrow. Gosh, tomorrow. Oh my god.
The giveaway is not case sensitive, and you can enter multiple times. It doesn't change anything. You're still entered, and we're going to do that right now.
Ooh.
So the winner of the Civil War Ultimate Pack of your choice is going to be...
Who's it going to be?
Bam! T2X8. T2X8, you've got 60 seconds to claim your prize. Let me know if you're here. T2X8. That's a Civil War Ultimate Pack of your choice. And like I said, I'll be giving away some MC after this as well.
Good luck seeing that.
I know. Till the end of the stream, I'll be giving away some MC. But T2X8, you've got 40 seconds. And there he is. T2X8 says, oh my god. Yep, you got it. So 1 second, T2. I'll whisper you, and we can get that sorted.
I'm digging this shark camo. That's pretty bamf. Not gonna lie, that's pretty cool. That's secondary. That's pretty cool.
By the way, to add to your conspiracy theory, T2 is a subscriber.
Is that? Yeah.
But 1 out of 4 today were subscribers, so I don't know about your theory.
You know, sticking to my guns, man.
T2X8, I whispered you. Whisper me back with your pilot name and what mech pack you would like.
Illuminati. I know someone's just asking. Again, high mounts, pretty much even the ones on the torso, energy mounts, they're high. I mean, or at least they're equal to cockpit, I would say. So I don't think that'll be an issue. I could see a dual Gauss 6 medium. I could see dual Gauss, possibly even heavies, because let's see here. How much tonnage would you have left over? Let's see here. Yeah, I think you'd have, I think mediums would probably be better. You could do, you can drop this down just a bit too, just for...
Just so you guys know too, throughout the week and potentially next week as well, there will be more Civil War pack giveaways, both in NGNG TV as well as there's a few streamers out there celebrating milestones, you know, 1,000 followers, whatever, and we've given them the ability to do that, including RJ. He's got a all-day stream coming up, and a few others. So be aware of who's streaming MWO. There will be more giveaways out there and more chances to win some of these cool mechs.
Oh my. Check it out, armor too. We can see that being done as well. A few different combinations. Yeah, I think that would be... That'd probably be all the tonnage. Anyways. So yeah, and then on to the talk of Civil War tech in general. There is a few things that, again, for IS side, you guys need to be aware of. And that comes in the form of mostly IS tech. We've got all the UACs now. Instead of just UAC 5, we now have UAC 2s, 10s, and 20s. Instead of just LB 10s, we have LB 2s through 20s. We also have racks. We showcased those earlier. The UAC 10s and the UAC 20s, I'm going to go ahead and show off these, mainly because we do have counterparts on the clan side. And let me go ahead and drop.
Sorry, RJ, I do recognize that now. I realize that too many things in my head, and you know, I'm old, whatever. T2X8 is now a proud owner of a Madcat Mark II Ultimate Pack. Congratulations, T2X8, as well as our other winners today. And stick around, I'll be giving away some MC.
All right, I'll just showcase these, and I will showcase the heavy machine gun as well, because why not? So I'm gonna go ahead and hop in here and sort of show these off. And again, we also have MRMs. We showcased those earlier. We have rockets. Rockets are a one-time use only. They also don't require ammo because it's fit into the piece of equipment as well. So keep that in mind when you equip them and you go to ammo and you're like, where's the ammo? It's because they don't have it. So there's that. We do have light Gauss. And I'll showcase this off really quick. You still have a charged mechanic. But you notice the 862 meters, I do have quirks and skills applied to this. So, same concept here. All right, of course, guys, we already showed off a lot earlier. I'm just showing off certain weapons right now. We have the heavy machine guns. Heavy machine guns base range is 90, so even with the range applied, you only have 92. A lot more damage, right, than regular machine guns. Extremely short range. I think this would fit sort of like the Spiders, the BGA Arrow, the Shadow Cat sort of machine gun builds. So there's that as well. We have the UAC 10s, and where this is different than the clan counterpart is the round count. You can see there, and I just double clicked, jammed. All right, so we'll do the 20s.
Phil, Sprain Twitch wants to know why you won't let him go to work.
Because we're evil. So you notice AC, Ultra AC 10s, only 2 round. Feels really good. You still have a jam chance if you double click, like that. Just jammed again. You do have jam reduction nodes now.
Target destroyed.
I like that war horn. That makes me smile each time. So yeah, the UAC 10, very, very nice. Let's go ahead and get up here really quick. And of course, you are seeing a walking cockpit item. We'll eventually get up here.
Chris, do LAMs benefit from AMS skills?
Target acquired.
Yeah, they do.
Target destroyed.
All right, let me go and hop back into the mech lab. Yeah, LAMs, laser anti-missile system, doesn't use any ammo, but generates slight heat when used. And that was toned down since PTS. Give me mass racks. Yeah, we did some racks earlier. Let's see what else we got going on. Obviously all the different PPCs, we showcased those earlier. Snub nose, no minimum range. Heavy does a split damage here. This is sort of like the heavy PPCs are just like clan PPCs, right, Chris? As far as their 2.5 to each location to the side. Is that correct?
Zombie Jesus, I whispered you your codes, so make sure you check out your whispers.
I think he's here. Chris, are you there? He may have stepped away. But yes, so when it says damage, all right, what else do we got? We have light engines. This is probably the biggest thing for me in the patch, and again, would be the light fusion engines. As far as pricing, as you can see here, XL 300 is 4.9, a light is 3.6, and a standard is 1.8. So it looks to be about double of what a standard is. So I think you can do the math on that. Any type of engine that you have is about double for a light. So it's not as expensive as a XL. And what does light engine do for you guys? So light engines allows you to survive a left torso, right torso blowout. 2 crit slots. You can lose a torso. There is a heat penalty. Chris, can we talk about the heat penalty or what happens when you lose a side torso?
For light engines, it's just like losing a side torso on the clan ones. So it's pretty much 40% loss engine heatsink capacities and 3% max speed loss.
Chris, did heavy PPCs get rid of splash damage?
Yes, they're 15. So just 15 for a single projectile. It still has a minimum range, though.
We also have the ER smalls, ER mediums. Let's see what else we got in here. And of course, we have the SRM streaks. I think that's sort of given, but we do have the rocket launchers here. And of course, Chris did mention minimum range. When you click on the weapon system in the mech lab here, you can see a little graph that pops up. So you can see that there is a minimum. Chris, is there anything that could be done potentially to show, like where it says max range, optimal and stuff, to actually show a minimal? Because you can't, there's no like number for that.
Yeah, I brought that up, but nothing I can share at this point, but it is known.
Okay. And then of course all the MRMs, and we showcased those earlier, and I'll just sort of do that really quick. Oh, forgot the engine. Oops, if I do that. Darren's just giving shit away left or right. Like, looking at chat, something new.
Oh, bro, Darren. Yeah.
Did you want to drop in a match or two, Phil?
Giant scroll.
No, we're not gonna do any of that.
Okay.
Hawk whispered you your codes. Let me know if you didn't get them. Congrats again.
Target acquired.
This is Phil and Darren being teasers again, like not shown them in action, just in the mech lab.
No, I think it's just better.
Well, keep in mind too, this is already a 3-hour stream.
Yeah.
Oh, you stream for longer than 3 hours.
No, I know, but typically these preview streams are an hour, so obviously today was a large stream. If you did miss any of it, this is going to be, of course, up on YouTube immediately after we're done with the stream. We'll get it up there.
So one thing to note for those that missed earlier, you can spread MRMs now.
Target destroyed.
Hashtag 1000MC, and this is going to be the last giveaway. Hashtag 1000MC. And again, thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. It's been awesome.
It's been one of our most successful sneak peeks. Again, I think a lot of people are going to be coming back to the game. If you guys have any questions in regards to maybe the skill tree, or you have any questions about certain mech builds, feel free to ask tomorrow during the stream. Again, I will be going live as soon as the patch goes live. And yeah, lots of science to be had. Keep in mind, things probably won't settle down for probably about, I would say, 2-3 weeks. And then, of course, with, you know, such a large introduction of tech, I suspect we'll see some balance changes, Chris, as far as you guys will be implementing tweaks here or there within the next coming month or two. Probably maybe even further. Keeping an eye on stuff.
Guaranteed, but always a possibility.
Yeah, yeah, we're always monitoring what's going on in the game. So if anything is pretty much skewing in a way we don't want it to, we'll be sure to look into ways of changing it.
All right. So last giveaway, just want to say thank you again, guys. Hopefully this gave you a good preview of what's coming tomorrow. Lots of science. As a player, I'm looking forward to it. We've been talking about this for well over a month, ever since it was announced, what this means for IS side of things, but also clan introduction, a few new weapon systems, and a few variants that are, you know, obviously some fan favorites. Taken away from today, again, what am I most excited for? I'm not gonna lie, guys, the Uzil and the Cougar sort of have my money. I like mediums, and I like heavies, of course. But this Cougar, I think what's really interesting about it was, of course, this H ECM Omnipod right here. Right there, that changes the game, and it makes, in my opinion, it a contender versus the Adder, if not maybe a little bit more viable for me as a playstyle. I like ECM mechs. This accompanied with the ease left and right energy torsos, you can do, again, plenty of energy options. You do 4 energy in the right arm. You can at least have 6 to 7 ER mediums if you wanted to. The big drawback to the Cougar, the limiting factor you're gonna have to watch out for, is crit space, just because it does have hard locked double heat sinks and has a 175 engine as well. So there is that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Cougar. The Uzil, absolutely fantastic as far as all the mechs animations. It's a brand new animation, and I think it looks fantastic. I was actually really surprised by it.
Uzil was definitely the clear winner with the animation today. I totally agree with that. And speaking of the Uzil, Chris, do you mind one more question? The question is, why did the Uzil not have any quirks?
I think we went over this earlier, but
did you?
Yeah, it doesn't have that many quirks, mostly because as a mech, it pretty much has you know, everything that you're mostly going to be looking for. For the most part, it's got very well-rounded hardpoints. It's got nothing but high mounts. It's got jump jets. It's got good base speed. So we've pretty much given it bonuses to its agility ratings, especially compared to other mechs within the 50-ton chassis range. But it's not going to benefit from the same things that other mechs currently have right now, mostly because you know, it has a lot of benefits just built into the geometry and the hardpoint locations that other IS mechs of similar tonnage just don't have.
So it is badass out of the gate, that's why. But of course, just like everything, it will be monitored. If changes need to be made, then potentially they can be made. Let's do this last giveaway. 1000 MC right now goes to...
Who's it gonna be?
Fenrir88. Fenrir88,
nice,
1 second, I'll whisper you those codes. Congratulations.
Awesome. But guys, as we wrap up, I just want to say thank you for coming out here. Hopefully you enjoyed this sneak peek for Civil War tech coming out tomorrow. Super exciting. Huge numbers showed up today. Thank you guys. Again, if you are new, my name is Phil. I go by Sean Lang in-game. Toss me a friend invite if you haven't done so already. We've been trying to break the chat system again. It is SEAN space LANG, just like I see it spelled below. If you are new, click that follow button. That way you guys get email notifications. And of course, check out all of our links down below. Quick shout outs to Chris. Thank you for joining and answering questions. And of course, Mama Bear for giving shit away like Oprah all day. And of course, you guys, thank you for making this possible. I mean, literally, we do it and you guys show up literally en masse. And there's that. So just want to say thank you guys for all the support. And of course, while we're sitting here, let me go ahead and give some shout outs to some of our newest subs. We've had a few.
A metric shit ton of subs. So why don't you, let's give
them so we have Totally Not Cecil, Lizard Lenny, Fenrir, Sparta, Lieutenant Hardcase with 10 months. How you doing, Mech Bro? Been at least 2 years, Phil peer pressured me into change my name. What? T2X8. Is it Shilmi? I don't know. Prodigal. How you doing? Mighty Faza. Lucky Anton with 8-month resub. Extreme 79 or date. Max Pecker with 9 months. Nutaku. I was wondering who our tier 2 sub was. Found you. For 5 months. Guardian 2000 with 10 months. We had Anubis. Flynn the Avatar. Callside Ferret with 7 months. Axum. Trephinix with 9 months. Hello to you, sir. Midfield Marauder with 16 months. More mechs. More mech killing. That's right. Croaker Munin with 1 month. Riz with 3 months. Yeah, well, actually, those are older. Yeah. So anyways, thank you guys for subbing to the channel. Thank you for the support. Speaking of which, if you guys do want to support the channel and you want to become a sub, just keep in mind you can actually sub for free, just like a lot of people just did today with Twitch Prime. If you don't know what Twitch Prime is, you link your Amazon Prime account and your Twitch Prime account, and you get Twitch Prime, no ads on Twitch, and you get a sub coin every month that you can use for whatever channel that you want. Great way of supporting us passively. It doesn't add anything to your cost. I'll go drop that link in information in chat. So if you're answering yes, Phil, I actually do have Amazon, this may be a case for you right there. So just go ahead and drop that link. Takes about 30 seconds to do. Very, very easy. And we do greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys. And of course, quick shout out for all the bits. We had a few of you guys. Speaking of which, I think there was some more bits just dropped. Thank you, RQS and Riz and all of you guys. But yeah.
Yeah, we peaked, like I said, we peaked over 900 people today. We really do appreciate it, guys, and we have a blast too. You guys are just a lot of fun to hang out with, and I love the excitement for this stuff that I'm excited about as well. We're going to have a long patch day stream tomorrow. Chris will be joining us again. You can answer your questions, like Phil said, and yeah, we really look forward to it. That'll be immediately following the patch implementation tomorrow.
Yep.
But in the meantime, you can head to mwmercs.com, check out the Civil War packs yourself. If you want to get your hands on any of these sexy mechs, they are there and available.
All right, guys, that's going to be it for us today. Again, just want to say thank you for showing up, and hopefully you guys are looking forward to it as much as I am, and Darren is, and Chris is. We will be here live tomorrow. I don't know how long of a patch it's going to be. I don't know if it'll be quick. I don't know if it'll be short. But if you follow us on Twitter and if you're on our Discord server, we will be posting when it does go live. And of course, I'll do that in announcements. There's the Discord link in the chat. And again, it's a great tool to stay connected with everyone out there. But yeah, as we wrap up, just want to say appreciate the support. And wow, tomorrow, God, is it already here? It's already
coming.
here. It's already here. We've
Civil
been talking
War
about it.
Is coming.
If you haven't done so already, make sure to save your C-bills. Don't buy anything today. I would hold off and do it tomorrow.
Who are we going to raid? We've got Beef, RJ, and Haven Kendrick out there, as well as Forced Induction.
I think I'm going to send them over to Beef.
Yeah, the Beef is just, well, they're all good streamers, obviously. You should check out the Beef. You should check out RJ Base 3 and Haven Kendrick and Forced Induction. But we're going to raid the hell out of the Beef right now.
I think we're going to do it. 1 second.
So throw out those. We got a lot of new subs today.
I think he's about to start too. So guys, if you have the ability, head over to Beef's channel, incoming dropship. If you have our emotes, you can drop a few dropships as well. Copy paste, head over to his chat, incoming dropship. Go support another content creator that if you haven't and you don't know the Beef, you sort of need to. And yeah, just want to say thank you again. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some MechWarrior Online Civil War. It's coming out. All right, guys, head over to his channel right now. Go support him. We will see you tomorrow. Until next time, Mech Warriors. Peace.